First and foremost, when you've got to change your manager, Keith's remit would have been stay within the Premier League for Brentford. Then it would have been the next goal after that would have been, right, okay, can we push on to the top 10? And now you look at a situation where you say, can you now push into Europe? And the ambition grows within the changing room, and that's the big thing, is that you start to believe, and you start to believe in what the manager's telling you, but you start to believe as a group that that's attainable as well. So I think it's an incredible story, it really is. I think my only concern is, and this is me being sort of the pessimist here, is just, can they juggle European football with the Premier League? Would they have the depth to be able to do that? Because sometimes, as we see, even with the likes of Spurs, and you're talking about injuries and how well they've dealt with injuries, well, suddenly you go to play more games a season, the injuries do creep in because players are more fatigued at the moment. They don't have that weight and that burden on the players' bodies. So that is a different side of it as well. And then suddenly as well, fans become more optimistic and they want more. When they step into Europe, they want bigger names through the door. They want players to be players want paid more as well for getting in those positions, and that becomes difficult for the ownership as well. So sometimes it's a one of those situations where you're desperate for it, but sometimes the owners think, do you know what, it'd be lovely for a season, but then it might be more difficult than we anticipate as a club.
I have to say, when we were talking about injuries, I was leading into that European squad depth and that kind of, in a much more positive way. But okay, Stephen, we'll take your point. They might put a little bit of extra pressure on them. I was going to say, if everything's working well injury-wise and they're able to keep players fit and then add a few players, that maybe they might be well set up should they qualify. But in order to do that, they've got to keep getting the results. They're at Bournemouth this evening. Let's check in on how Brentford are getting on with Sahil Sahi.
Yeah, 19 minutes played here, Kelly, on the south coast. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. Neither side giving anything away, really. There hasn't been a chance created, but the long throws of Kaidu are troubling the Bournemouth defence. There was one a couple of minutes ago. It caused confusion in the home side's defence, and Damsgaard, it fell out to him just 5 yards in front of the penalty spot, dead centre of the penalty area. He fluffed his lines, really. That's only been the chance either side have carved out so far. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0.
Leeds United at home to Sunderland. Sarah Mulkerins is watching.
It's Leeds 0, Sunderland 0. There were loud boos ringing around Ellen Road because the Sunderland goalkeeper Melker Elborg has just gone down injured, and the fans unhappy about that. It wasn't in the course of play, went down afterwards. The ball is getting ready for a Leeds free kick, but he's back up on his feet. Remember, he is in for Robin Roofs, who is out injured, so potentially if Elborg was to go off, they'd be down to their third choice keeper, and they are under pressure, the Sunderland defence. So far they have held firm. They've been able to bat away and intercept and block for their lives. Regis Lebris, he has been gesticulating on the sidelines to get his team to calm down, because Leeds are firmly on top here despite the scoreline. Leeds 0, Sunderland 0.
Sarah, thank you very much. Interesting timing to join that game. Apologies if you heard anything that you didn't want to hear this evening. Everton taking on Burnley. Lee Blakeman.
Everton 0, Burnley 0, 20 minutes played. Everton started slowly, but are getting into it more now. They've just had a corner which fell to Idris Gueye inside the D, put in the shot with his left foot, but completely snatched at it. And then another corner just after that fell to Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, edge of the area. He cleared the crossbar with his shot. 20 minutes played. We've not had a shot on target yet, which, when you're in neutral and a bit of a grouch like me, makes it a bit irritating. More shots on target, please. Everton 0, Burnley 0.
Lee, I hope that Lee Blakeman isn't listening anymore, because the previous 3 Premier League meetings between David Moyes and Scott Parker have seen just 1 goal scored. Both of the last 2 have ended 0-0. But don't tell Lee Blakeman, because he's still got a lot to look forward to in that game. We'll keep you up to date with what's happening there. And then remember, commentary from 8:15 of Wolves against Liverpool. But before we went to get those updates, we were talking about Brentford, about how potentially they would be set up should they qualify for Europe this season, which they're on course to do. And Ben, it sort of does take us back to the point that you were making about being able to keep those players fit in order to be able to keep a squad fit. But if European football does come Brentford's way, they'll need to add as well. And recruitment is where they've also been excellent.
Yeah, Stephen made a great point. You know, it comes with extra challenges. We did it at Burnley. We managed to finish 7th one year, but we didn't really have the squad to really go for Europe. We were a bit threadbare, and we struggled really in the league in the first few months anyway. But I think
You were stretched anyway, weren't you, that season, even in terms of like a squad for the Premier League? Yeah,
absolutely. I think we were stretched most seasons, to be honest. we had an 11 to put out, and then and we was, but I think Brentford will be in a more of a position to go after it. I think the way they recruit and the way the squad depth at the minute, I'd like to think they'd be more well equipped than I was when we played when our team were for Burnley. But I think Stephen makes a great point. The challenges come, the pressures come, the fans expect a little bit more. Keith's job's suddenly a little bit different, having to manage long trips to faraway places on a Thursday night, and then having to play on a Sunday afternoon. It does create a little bit more of a quieter atmosphere, I think, on a Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock rather than the normal times. I guess it can be a little bit funny at times. Those challenges certainly will be there, or could be there.
And when we talk about recruitment, it's had to be spot on, because like a lot of clubs at that level in the Premier League, when teams who are challenging for the Champions League come calling, then players will go and they will move on, and that's part of the club's plan as well. But what Brentford have had in the Premier League this season is Igor Thiago, 18 goals that have been worth 15 points to them. Did you see this in him?
Well, he came in last year and he was injured initially, and so he didn't really train or play much for the first few months. But you could see he was chomping at the bit. He came in, big personality, fantastic bloke, really great around the place. Chomping at the bit to get playing, and it didn't really work for him last season. He kept picking up little bits of injuries here and there, his back, his knees. But his consistency this year has been phenomenal, and really pleased for him. He took his goal great on Saturday, showed a bit of pace and a fantastic finish. He's just a really good centre forward, a really good number 9 up there for Brentford, and he's got so much to his game. He's a target man, but also he's got that bit of pace as well that you need to get him behind as well. He's a willing runner. He's aggressive. He's strong. I really like him. I think he's been fantastic this year, and obviously he can finish as well, scoring that amount of goals.
Well, while we've been talking about Brentford, there's been a chance for Bournemouth. Suhail Sahi.
Yeah, the first chance of the evening, Kelly. Still Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. It foul to Bournemouth. There was a clearance by the Brentford defence. It ricocheted off the face of Henderson, picked up by Tyler Adams. He found Evan Nielsen just outside the penalty area, and then he selected Tavernier to have a go just inside the penalty box. It was a right-footed shot, just whipped past the far post. The best moment either side have created so far. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0.
Thank you, Suhail. Regular updates from the 3 Premier League games that are taking place this evening and across the EFL as well. Leeds United up against Sunderland as well. Leeds have just been fantastic at home in these evening fixtures. We were hearing that a little bit earlier from Sarah Mulkerrins. They're unbeaten in 22 home evening league fixtures since that 6-1 defeat by Liverpool, but that wasn't till since April 2023. Stephen, it's a strange one, that, in terms of what players like to play in. I mean, Ben mentioned it there about sometimes those 2 o'clock kickoffs on a Sunday, or maybe the 12:30s on a Saturday. There's players who aren't comfortable with those kind of kickoffs. It just knocks them off their routine, and then you get those that love playing under the lights.
Yeah, I think the lights brings atmosphere. I think it brings an excitement around the ground, and I think the players thrive on that also as well. What you often find for players is that they can fuel up during the day as well, and they can get the rest and get the sleep, and then they're ready and raring to go in the evening games. And the players do enjoy the evening games as well. I think it's a great time to play football. So yeah, I was always one of them. I enjoyed the night games as much as anything. I didn't really enjoy the 12:30 kickoffs or the early kickoffs, because again, you simply couldn't fuel up, and if you did have a bad night's sleep the night before, it weighed on your mind a little bit, and thinking, oh, am I fully ready for this game? I haven't really had that sleep. Whereas if you have a bad night's sleep and then you go into an evening kickoff, you think, well, I can get a sleep in the afternoon, I can catch up on that, so you don't overthink about it. But the early one as well is, do you eat pasta in the morning? Do you eat chicken? It's like, oh God, it's brutal. It's not a nice one. But a lot of players are superstitious, where they'd eat certain things before a game, and they would want to eat those things at sort of 9 o'clock in the morning, and that's it's not an ideal one, but I suppose there's small problems that you have when you have an early kickoff.
The other thing with the early kickoffs is that if you win them, then you get to relax and watch everybody else struggle a little bit later on in the day. Which way were you, Ben? Did you like the early ones, or were you a late night kickoff person?
No, I'm with Stephen. I prefer the evening ones. Have a sleep in the afternoon, get ready, fueled up, and ready for the games. But I think at Ellen Road, I prefer to play at 12:30 and and not go under the lights there, because it'd be for a difficult evening.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You want to get in nice and early. You don't want to be playing as an opponent
Kelly,
against
can I
Leeds
just
United
say,
when the fans are in full voice.
Kelly, if it was a 12:30 kickoff and you had an international break the week after, that's great.
That's the one you want.
Oh, that's perfect.
After a win, though, if you
yeah,
lose,
that's when you get a warm weather break, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you're on an early flight out of there. Yeah, perfect.
Talking about Leeds and Sunderland, though, are they sort of building a kind of blueprint for promoted sides to stay up, do you think, Stephen? And they're doing it in different ways, but we've seen how much promoted sides have struggled of late, and yet they're bucking the trend.
Yeah, I think one of the things that recruitment has to do now is look at athleticism within the Premier League more than anything. I think if you've got pacey players, strong players within a system, I think that helps. It's an advantage. I think that is what Leeds have done, and I think it's what Sunderland have done. If you look at the average size of the players that both teams have brought in, I'd say they're around about 6 foot-ish, maybe a little bit taller. Good runners, good athleticism. I think there's a lot to be said about technique in the game now is perhaps not what it used to be, and the athleticism has taken over a little bit more. But the blueprint is there for everyone to see. I think the interesting thing is that Sunderland took a little bit of a gamble over the last couple of years and didn't really recruit that big in the transfer windows, and took a little bit of a gamble. They relied a lot on the manager and his ability to tactically be prepared for games. But then now they've been able to spend big because they haven't spent big in the last couple of windows, whereas Leeds have got big investment and have almost taken gambles in the last few years. And plus they've had the parachute payments of a season within the Premier League, which has allowed them to then spend probably again in the Championship and have a go at getting out of the league quicker.
So we're focusing on the Premier League games that are underway this evening, with Wolves against Liverpool to come in 15 minutes' time. Let's check in on some of the games that are happening in the EFL this evening. In the Championship, it's Ipswich against Hull City. Emily Herbert.
0-0 so far, a big game in the race for automatic promotion to the Premier League, though a win for either side and they'll go 3 points behind second. It's the Championship's second best home team against the best away team, so expecting a cracker tonight. Ipswich straight into a spell of sustained possession, nothing to test the keepers yet. 15 minutes in, Ipswich 0, Hull 0.
And in League 2, watching Bromley against Oldham, it's Angus Patterson.
Bromley 0, Oldham 0. A cagey affair so far between two sides high on confidence. The best chance falling to Bromley's Michael Cheek, whose partnership with Nike Kabamba is causing problems for the Oldham defence. A flashing header that fell just wide. Bromley 0, Oldham 0.
And in the FA Cup, a delayed tie between Port Vale and Bristol City taking place this evening at Vale Park. Sani Rajavajala is there.
We're into the 14th minute. Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0. Best chance for the home side, actually. Across from the left, Ben Waine with a header just wide. The pitch, a bit of a leveller. Both sides going for it as a cross comes in from Vale that's cleared away. And the shot is, just bobbles, and the keeper just about gathers it. Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0.
Here on 5 Live Sport, Ben Mee and Stephen Warnock are with us as we build up to kick-off between Wolves and Liverpool in 15 minutes' time. There are 3 games currently taking place in the Premier League, approaching the half-hour mark. You can find them at BBC Sounds. On Sports Extra, it's Leeds against Sunderland. Sports Extra 2 has Everton versus Burnley, and on Sports Extra 3 it's Bournemouth against Brentford. If you want to find Sports Extra 2 and 3, just go to the BBC Sounds app, scroll through the radio dial, and you'll be able to tap on the match that you want. We'll round up everything that's happening, and we'll keep talking about those stories around those Premier League games this evening after the BBC News with Mark Summers.
The voice of the UK. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Donald Trump has accused the UK of being very, very uncooperative during the US-Israeli offensive against Iran. The US President also criticised Keir Starmer, saying this is not Winston Churchill we're dealing with. There's been no response from Downing Street. President Trump has also said the US Navy would, if needed, escort tankers through the Strait of Hormuz near to Iran. In a social media post, he said the United States will ensure the free flow of energy to the world. Earlier, the UK gas price surged to its highest level for 3 years, while Brent crude oil briefly rose above $85 a barrel for the first time since July 2024. Meanwhile, the government is sending one of its most advanced warships, HMS Dragon, to Cyprus. It follows Iranian drone attacks against a UK military base on the island. Helicopters with counter-drone capabilities are also being deployed. And the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, has said she's in no doubt about Britain's ability to navigate challenges. She gave an update on the UK economy in her spring statement. The budget watchdog has cut its forecast for UK growth this year, but also projected slightly improved figures for 2027 and 28. The Conservatives have accused Ms Reeves of being in denial.
When the business hustle is on, when the boardroom drama hots up, when sales pitches really deliver results, or don't.
And they made £3.
£3.13.
Oh yeah, that'll save them.
Nothing brings us together like great TV. And the TV licence covers you to watch all TV channels plus BBC iPlayer, so you can keep up with all the latest boardroom battles. It also funds everything you love from the BBC, including live radio, like this.
This is 5 Live Sports with Kelly Cates.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
We've had our first goal of the evening, and it's come in the fixture, which has finished 0-0 the last time these two sides met. Lee Blakeman.
Not this time. We've got an effort on target, and we've got a goal for Everton. Everton 1, Burnley 0. Great free kick from the right, midway inside the Burnley half, taken by Garner. Played in diagonally towards the back post, and rising highest was James Tarkowski to head straight past Dubravka. Really well taken goal from the free kick. Everton 1, Burnley 0.
And it's Ben's old teammate with the goal there, Ben.
Just watching that, really good header. I think one of the Burnley backline just dropped a little bit too deep, too early, and play him onside. And yeah, he's got up well and used his big head to get on the end of
it. He's one of those players that celebrates a clearance almost as much as a goal as well. He does it, but this time around he gets to celebrate scoring the goal that's put Everton 1-0 up against Burnley. Just set pieces have been, as we know, huge so far this season, and we've heard Arne Slot talking about them and saying that they're joyless, that the Premier League has become a bit boring perhaps as a result. Pep Guardiola said it was different when he started as a manager, but when he was young, he said people used to say, oh, everybody in England celebrates getting a corner or a free kick like a goal. So it may have come full circle, or it might just be, Ben, that people have got better at delivery, that the players taking the free kicks, like a Declan Rice, is better, or the players taking the free kicks, their technique is better. What do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is certainly a factor in it. Obviously, with the set-piece coaches now, there's more looking into it. Players go through it. I played for a team at Brentford where we utilise set-pieces very often. If we scored from it, we got a bonus from scoring from set-pieces. That's how important they were for the club. But I could see it, from our perspective, being a lesser team at the time, to try and utilise something that maybe could have been one of our strengths. I think a lot of general frustration comes from the long throws, how long they take. But another sort of aspect that I think is the defending side of set pieces, from corners, etc. I think the way we used to speak a lot about zonal defending and man-to-man marking, I think now is a lot of zonal defending, which is easier for set-piece coaches to plan against, because you know where the big headers of the ball are going to be. For example, Arsenal the other day, they had Gabriel up against Reece James and João Pedro at the back, so you can kind of know where to sort of block if you need to with the big men, and Saliba can take a man away, and then you got Gabriel up against a mismatch, and it's kind of easier to I guess plan against that. So maybe against an Arsenal, you could maybe go man for man or something, or do something a little bit different to try and counteract that. I think that'd be something interesting to see, and whether teams do that or not, I don't know, to try and sort of ruin the planning, I guess, of Arsenal set plays and other teams that like to, capitalise on it.
Yeah, we saw Chelsea under Liam Rossini use those three players who kind of ran out when the corner was about to be taken, and everybody's trying to get to the bottom of how to stop Arsenal from set plays. Darren Cann, who was a former assistant referee in the Premier League, was saying that sometimes you get maybe 16 players in the box. Does it feel more crowded, do you think, now? Are there more players in there all kind of jostling? Because again, this weekend, you know, there's another question mark as to what constitutes pushing, what constitutes grappling, what constitutes, you know, manhandling rather than man marking.
I don't think you think more players in there. I think there's just, I guess, different ways of trying to disrupt the back line. Maybe there's not as many players that want to go and head the ball as well as defensively in that zone. So I think, yeah, it's difficult to say. You know, personally, I don't think there's anything too different about it. I think there's just ways of defending it as well, and different ways of trying to attack the ball as a defender.
Let's check in on what's happening at the Vitality. Has been a big chance at the game between Bournemouth and Brentford. Sohail Sahi.
Yeah, it's gone the way of Bournemouth. We've got 8 minutes to play of this first half. Still Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. But Ryan Christie, their captain this evening, picked up the ball midway inside the Brentford half, drive towards the edge of the penalty area. Nice 1-2 between him and Evan Nilsson. He tiptoed into the penalty box, went past Kelleher, but he ran out of space, really, trying to move the ball from his right foot to left foot. And he was just inches away from putting Bournemouth into the lead. But we've still got 8 minutes to play, Kelly, in the first half. It's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0.
So just 8 minutes or so left in those games that kicked off at 7:30, which means that not long to go until kick-off in the 8:15 match between Wolves and Liverpool. Stephen, you're at Molineux for this game. There's a chance if Liverpool win by a big enough margin that they could go into third place and above Manchester United. They need to win by a 3-goal margin for that. And Wolves have lost 17 of their last 18 against Liverpool. However, is this less cut and dried than the stats would suggest?
Yeah, I think it is. I think there's an element where you used to think that Liverpool could go to away grounds and keep clean sheets and dominate possession and be a threat constantly. I don't feel like they've got that control this season, and I feel like Wolves can cause them problems. West Ham caused them plenty of problems at the weekend, and I think there's a little bit of a belief within Wolves over the last few weeks that they can probably get something out of this game as well. Liverpool have got the incentive there that they can close the gap on Manchester United. They can overtake them if, like you say, if they get the goal difference. The big thing for Liverpool will just be getting the points on the board. That's the most important thing as you get to this part of the season. The performance, yes, you'd like to see a good one, but as long as they close that gap and they're in contention for the Champions League places, that's the most important thing at the end of this night.
So Stephen is going to be bringing us commentary of that match alongside Ian Dennis at Molineux this evening. And Denno, these two teams play again in this fixture in the FA Cup on Friday night. Is there a clue from team selection as to where the priorities lie?
Yeah, I think they're conscious. I think they're caught between the two because they know they're going to go down. But what Wolves are wanting to do is just to finish the season with a little bit of momentum to try and then hit the ground running in the Championship next season. And I think the feeling is that they're very happy with what Rob Edwards has done, because all of a sudden now they are starting to be competitive in the Premier League. But obviously they'd like an FA Cup run as well. So I think they've made the 4 changes just to try and rest a couple of players, or 2 or 3 players, with that in mind for the visit of Liverpool again on Friday. Equally mindful that Liverpool will make changes and it will still be a strong side that Liverpool put out on Friday night.
It will still be a strong side as they go for silverware potentially this season, but they're yet to finish this season in the Premier League as well, and this will have a lot of importance for them. And they've dropped off, Stephen, Liverpool, in a lot of games this season. They've had poor second halves.
Yeah, I mean, at the start of the season they scored a lot of late goals and a lot of late winners, and it almost papered over the cracks a little bit, and then yeah, they suffer late on in games. And I think there's an element of a lack of fitness within the second half of games. I think teams can overrun them. I think they can sit in and then overpower them in the second half, and what we've started to see is that teams are leaving the quicker players on the bench and then they're unleashing them with 20-30 minutes to go, knowing that there is an element of fatigue in Liverpool.
Ben, when you look at the performances that Wolves have had this season, particularly in the latter stages, they've got the win at the weekend, they've got the late equaliser against Arsenal. They were really, really cut adrift at the bottom of the table. They're now 7 points behind Burnley, 12 behind West Ham, and 14 behind Nottingham Forest. And they had hardly any points on the board, for a long, long time this season. Can you see the improvements that they're making?
Yeah, I mean, they've had a shocking start, haven't they, to the season, and then all of a sudden they've managed to pick up some good results, and credit to Rob Edwards being able to motivate the group, obviously being cut adrift. Players will still have things to play for, whatever that may be, whether they want to move on or whether they want to prepare for next year or anything, along those lines, and for pride and for not being the worst team in the Premier League history, which they've managed to overcome. But yeah, I think the manager's got to find ways to keep them going, keep them motivated, find whatever it is that makes the group tick. We obviously fans will be disappointed with their season. The recruitment maybe hasn't been quite right. They've lost some players, but again, you need a side that are going to be cohesive and work together, and I don't think they've done that this season at all. We've got some good talent in there, some good individuals, but when I've watched them, that's kind of what I see on the pitch. I see a group of individuals that haven't really fought for each other this season, and when it doesn't happen on the pitch, it can quickly go wrong in the Premier League, and it certainly has done this season for them.
Ben Mee is with us throughout the evening here on 5 Live Sport, but they are just about to get to the end of the first half in the 3 Premier League games that are already underway tonight. We'll let you know how they're all going on, but right now we're going to bring you first half commentary of Wolverhampton Wanderers against Liverpool, live from Molineux with your commentary team of Stephen Warnock and Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Kelly. I think one of the other things as well, to answer your question, is trying to get that connection between the players and the supporters, because it wasn't that long ago that it was quite toxic, but I think they've been able to re-establish that, haven't they? And it feels, an hour ago it felt rather flat. It doesn't now.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's to do with the tannoy system in it, the PA system. This is rocking now. But there is a feel in that. I'm looking around at everyone here who's around us, and they're smiling, they're happy. I think sometimes you come and you're a little bit like, well, what are we going to see tonight? Well, the signs recently have been really positive, and there's a lot of people who overlook the relationship between what goes on the pitch and the fans and what they bring, but you've got to have a collectiveness. It's got to be a togetherness, and Rob Edwards has been able to achieve that in a short space of time that he's been here.
Well, he's made 4 changes from the team that beat Villa last Friday. Doherty for Hugo Bueno, Muller-Wolf for Totti Gomez, Krejci for Mosquera, and Angel Gomez comes in for Bellegarde. So Sarri's in goal, a back 3 of Doherty, Santiago Bueno and Krejci, Chichawa, Andre, João Gomez and Muller-Wolf, and then Angel Gomez, Mateus Mane and Adam Armstrong. Wouldn't be surprised, I know Adam Armstrong is a forward, but if he plays in the role as a false 9 tonight, we'll just have to maybe look at that. But the golden shirts for Wolves and the black shorts against Liverpool, who are all in red. Alisson in goal. The one change from the side that beat West Ham is Frimpong for Joe Gomez. At right back, Konate, Van Dijk and Kerkez, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister, Gakpo, Salah and Ekitike. As we are underway tonight, and our referee is Thomas Bramall, who is as Liverpool are quickly on the attack in the penalty area in Kerkez. It just bobbled away from him. They're attacking what was the old South Bank, for those of you who remember the old Molineux Stadium, as they're playing from left to right as we look, as Jose Sarr places the ball down, all in black, and just knocks it short. And Ekitike will try and press. So thankfully we've lost a couple of Gomez's tonight in Totti and Joe from each side, because otherwise...
Oh, it makes life difficult, that, doesn't it?
It would have been a Gomez fest, as the ball is away over on that far side. And Chichau racing after it, delivers the cross on that far side, and then it just bounced away from Muller-Wolf, who was coming forward on this near side. That was a rather speedy break.
Yeah, it's the position of Chichau on that right-hand side, and then Adam Armstrong's smart. He comes short into feet. Kerkez loses his man, and Van Dijk has gone in on Armstrong, so it just leaves a big space on that right-hand side for Chichau. He is electric. He just can't deliver the right ball into the box. And that's a positive start from Wolves, getting Liverpool on the back foot straight away.
He was named the fastest player in Serie A, and they signed him for just under £11 million from Verona in the summer, a 5-year deal. And you can easily see why, whether it be at right back or right wing back. He was lightning.
Delighted I'm retired, because he would leave me for dust.
I think in fairness he would leave most left backs.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, Kirkes isn't slow, but that's the great thing when you've got that pace. If you can show short and go in behind and the pass is right, it's very, very difficult to deal with. Defenders hate players or playing against players that have got pace.
And also Matthias Mane as well, an 18-year-old who's been given his opportunity. He's on the ball now, able to turn. And interesting once more that they've looked for that ball down that right-hand side for Jackson Chichawa. Grimsby Town, incidentally, have taken the lead at Blundell Park against Salford City. They lead by a 1-0. But Kirkes coming forward, and then there was just a little touch there on his shoulder. He drops to the floor. It was from Mane, and that will be a free kick. But because of the presence, and twice already in the opening 2.5 minutes, they've tried to get Chichawa away, it gives Kirkes something to think about.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And one thing Kirkes does at times is he can get caught ball watching, and that has just happened then, where he's got that. He's been caught looking at the ball, and then all of a sudden you think he's lost his man. He's switched off for a second.
Half-time at Bournemouth, Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, always interesting here, very evenly matched. Bournemouth with a better quality. Tavernier and Hill have been going close before Ryan Christie. He missed the best chance after clever work. He got past Kelleher, but the ball ran away from him. The long throws of Coyote are causing Bournemouth issues. Half-time, Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0.
And when it resumes for the second half, commentary of that will be live on Sports Extra 3. You can find that through the BBC Sounds app. Because every game in the Premier League this midweek, tonight, Wednesday and Thursday, will be covered for you through the 5 Live Sport network. It's a throw on this near side for Muller Wolf, and he's just had a word in his ear from Rob Edwards, the Wolverhampton Wanderers manager, as the ball is back with Santiago Bueno, and now with Sarr to clear the ball away, and that goes all the way through to his opposite number. Stephen.
It's been a decent start to the game for Wolves. Liverpool just trying to find their feet, trying to find a little bit of rhythm. They have got 2 attack-minded players on the pitch in the full-back positions in Frimpong and Kirkes, and you can just sense that Wolves are going to try and play on those 2 players, playing high up the pitch, and when they turn the ball over, try and get in behind very quickly.
That's the voice of the former Liverpool and Aston Villa and England international Stephen Warnock, who were together watching Liverpool-West Ham at the weekend, and we said into Sports Report as to how strange it may sound that you score 5 goals, and yet Liverpool were unconvincing at times in that victory against West Ham. Certainly they didn't feel comfortable both at 3-1 and even at 4-2 to the pressure that West Ham United put on Liverpool at Anfield as McAllister tries to thread a ball through. That was blocked by João Gomez. Half-time at Ellen Road, Sarah Mulkerrins.
Leeds 0, Sunderland 0, full of intensity and bite. The hosts are on top. They're just lacking the quality up top. Closest they went was an Anton Stack free kick. Fine low save by Melchior Elborg to keep it out. A couple of half chances from the visitors when they have got into the Leeds half, but nothing really doing. At the break, it's Leeds 0, Sunderland 0.
And commentary in the second half will be on Sports Extra for that one, as Van Dijk hits a ball over the top. Salah enters the penalty area, tries to control at the outside of his left boot. He's bundled over. Referee was up with play, Thomas Bramall, and the ball is going to be knocked out of play by Jose Sarr, as Salah just still sits inside the penalty area on his backside.
Yeah, well, an informed Mohamed Salah puts Liverpool 1-0 up. It's a brilliant ball from Virgil van Dijk. Had it gone to VAR, he might have just strayed a little bit too early, Mohamed Salah, but as he receives that ball, he receives it on the penalty spot, tries to take a touch with the outside of his foot, then he's out-muscled by Krejci, who gets back in, makes the challenge on Mohamed Salah. But my first initial thought was, why hasn't he hit it first time? Why is he not taking that on the full? Got a strike at goal, big opportunity for Liverpool.
10 games in the Premier League without a goal. It is his worst goal drought that he's experienced in English League football. Half-time then at Everton, Lee Blakeman.
Everton 1, Burnley 0, not the best of games, but Everton are ahead at home. Goal from a set-piece, Garner with a diagonal free kick, Tarkowski ran to it at the back post, good header past Dubravka. Branthwaite nearly made it 2 in stoppage time, but Dubravka did very well to keep that header out. Half-time, Everton 1, Burnley 0.
Gakpo with a shot away straight into the goalkeeper's arms. Just entered the penalty area, hit it right-footed, comfortable height for the keeper.
Yeah, Rob Edwards won't be happy about that. Midfielders overplaying. Joao Gomez caught on the ball by McAllister. Quick turnover. Gakpo cutting in on that right foot, as he likes to do. Gets his shot away. Interestingly, looking at the way Liverpool have set up, Mohamed Salah and Gakpo playing very narrow inside. Kerkez and Frimpong being asked to give that width for Liverpool.
He scored the 200th goal under Arne Slot at the weekend. It took him to within one of a half-century of goals since he arrived from PSV, as Newport County have got an equaliser at home to Tranmere Rovers. Newport 1, Tranmere Rovers 1, down at the bottom of League 2, where it's very, very tight. And here at the bottom of the Premier League are Wolverhampton Wanderers coming forward with Mane. Out towards Chichawa, cross on the run, takes a deflection and behind for a corner kick as Wolves play from right to left.
Yeah, they moved the ball really quickly there, Wolves. Mane getting on the turn, and he realises that pace of Chichawa down that right-hand side, releases it just at the right time. Credit to Kerkez, he closed that gap between him, the ball and the player very quickly. Ricochets it out for the corner for Wolves.
And has been often a feature and a talking point on the television and in radio in coming days as to the set-piece situation and the crowded nature of six-yard box these days. Once more, it's very congested with the golden shirts of Wolves and the red of Liverpool. Angel Gomez to take it, drops inside the penalty area. Mane just couldn't get there. It was Szoboszlai who got it away. It's headed back in, and then Konate, I think, has been caught in the neck. He's gone down clutching his neck, and that will be a free kick to Liverpool. Notice Szoboszlai, new look Szoboszlai.
Yeah, he's got a look that me and you definitely couldn't pull off. He's got the cornrows, hasn't he?
Well, there's still a chance you might be able to do it. There's definitely no chance.
There's definitely no chance you are.
No.
I think if I went for that, though, I think I'd lose all my hair. I think it'd end up being my last cut. I need to go to Turkey.
Grimsby Town have got a second goal. Grimsby Town 2, Salford City 0. I could go to Turkey, still try and get the hair, and I still wouldn't be able to do it. Here is McAllister. Out to Frimpong on this near side as Liverpool are attacking from left to right. Back to Alisson. Armstrong was quite rapid in closing down Alisson, and Salah's unable to keep the ball in play. Just looking, I thought that Arne Slot might be a little bit light in terms of his attire. It is the temperature has dropped somewhat, but I was feeling the chill earlier. But he looks in his short little bomber jacket. He looks all right. His opposite number, Rob Edwards, has got the puffer jacket on. Liverpool are attacking. Kerkez left-hand side of the area. Cross takes deflection. There's a sliding challenge by Doherty. And behind it goes for Liverpool, corner on that far side, the left, 0-0.
Yeah, Liverpool's best move, applauded by Arne Slot, because the movement from Kerkez, Gakpo, the interplay between them. My only criticism would be Kerkez doesn't need to take a touch. He can fizz it in first time. He's got three players arriving, Ekatike, Szoboszlai and Mohamed Salah at the back post.
So corner kick on that far side. This will be an in-swinger. We know about how Liverpool have become a threat at set pieces.
Look at Gakpo. Andre's walked Gakpo into the goal and pushing him into the back of the net. And Gakpo's just trying to give him a little bit of a shove. Andre trying to, I think, buy a foul there, holding his throat.
It's very tight for space. The goalkeeper, Jose Sarr, is really cramped. But the header that was clipped in from that far side, the left, by Szoboszlai was easily dealt with by the Wolves defence. Chesterfield have got a second goal in League 2. Chesterfield 2, Colchester United 0. Gravenberch back with Salah. Salah on this near side, the right. Gravenberch then on the halfway line will go further back to Alisson. Yeah, the league low of 3 goals from set pieces from Liverpool for the first 5 months of the season. And the specialist coach, Aaron Briggs, departed in December. And since the turn of the year, 9 set pieces that they have scored from, which is the most since the turn of the year in the Premier League. And I think I was reading that Arne Slot now has taken more responsibility.
Well, the one thing I never understand is and hopefully I'm not being too disrespectful to set-piece coaches, but why can't the manager do it? Why can't the coaching staff do it? Why do you need a specialist to suddenly come in and do that role? Yeah, I think it's quite interesting, but when I played, it was always, the emphasis was always on the manager, the coaches and the players to work out what they thought was most comfortable. I also think there's a snobbery around these set pieces, you know. Why not?
Yeah.
What was the set piece designed for? It was to cause confusion, cause trouble. The one thing you try and do when you play a football game is make life as uncomfortable for the opposition as you can.
Yeah.
And that's the way Arsenal are doing it. It's the way Liverpool have done it in the last couple of weeks. They scored a couple at the weekend against West Ham from set pieces, from making it very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Keith Andrews said that very point on Match of the Day, I recall, earlier in the season, saying that, you know, there's a lot of snobbery in football. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Stephen. Grimsby Town have got a third goal at home to Salford City in League Two. Still 0-0 here. Sarr plays the ball forward. João Gomez just touches the ball back, and then it is Santiago Bueno who'll give it back towards João Gomez, and João Gomez is able to stride his way forward.
Oh, what a ball.
And then passes the ball out towards Chichawa, who latches onto that right-hand side, but the delivery doesn't meet the build or match the build-up play. And he puts his hands on the back of his head, and he can clearly tell he's frustrated. His body language is a clear sign of that, as he then swishes them down by his side in annoyance as it goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, there's huge potential with Chichawa, but there needs to be a little bit of coaching at the end of it. Just that ability to slow yourself down, make sure that the cross is the most important part. The ball out from Gomez is absolutely sensational to Chichawa, though.
Well, a certain Traore springs to mind, who Wolves would have seen during his time as a cross is put in from the right. Frimpong is tucked in, Konate beats him to it, and then it's just touched further away by Szoboszlai, because Traore was another example of sometimes being too fast, and also the end product never matched his blistering pace.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a saying in football that you hear when it's almost speedboat no driver. They're that quick, and it's just like that they're out of control, and that's where when you get to the end of it, you've got to compose yourself, you've got to be able to slow yourself down. You can't cross a ball at 100 mile an hour, and that's something he'll get coached, hopefully, and he'll improve on, because he's certainly got the capability.
João Gomez passes the ball out to this near side for Muller Wolf, and then João Gomez to Angel Gomez, diminutive, tidy little midfielder who's on loan from Marseille. Chichawa then wasn't able to get going because the ball was stuck in beneath his feet over on that far touchline, but Wolves still have it, and it's now with Andre, who passes it to Armstrong. Armstrong goes to Mane. Man over is Chichawa on that far side, the right level with the penalty area. Kirk has to close him down. They've doubled up on Chichawa. Mane helps out with Wolverhampton Wanderers, and then the ball cut out by Ekitike, who'll decide to run forward and go it alone. And he nudges the ball forward and latches onto it, now left-hand side, and Andre's got to fill in. Ekitike is still going. Ekitike to the edge of the penalty area. Frimpong will shoot, and he's completely skied that. Hit it first time, right-footed, still looking for his first goal in the Premier League, and that was a rather wayward finish, 0-0.
Oh, it just deserves so much more, didn't it? That run from Ekitike. I mean, he looks like a basketball player, doesn't he? The frame, the size, but when he moves and he glides past players, he's so elegant in the way that he shifts his body, tries to find Frimpong at the end of it, and Frimpong lashes it. He's just got to make sure he gets good contact on it, concentrate, keep the ball down. He's always leaning back, he's always lashing at the ball. And it was high, wide and handsome.
Yep, it certainly never troubled Jose Sarr. Scored 5 goals last season for Bayer Leverkusen. As Sarr clears, Konate heads the ball forward. That was a blatant push on the back of Salah by Krejci. Cushion header then from Andre.
Beautiful.
Lovely touch by João Gomez. I think the danger is you can't have a fire sale when you get relegated, but I still think that we will see João Gomez in the Premier League next season, albeit not with Wolves.
Yeah, I quite agree. I think there'll be a lot of teams in for him. He's a quality player, isn't he? He's very calm on the ball, goes about his work extremely well. It's not just that side of it that I'm impressed with. He likes the physical side of the game as well, which is so important in the Premier League.
So the 25-year-old midfielder that they signed for £15 million from Flamengo, actually beat Lyon to his signature back in the day. I'm sure we'll have plenty of suitors as it's 0-0. Mane tries to get Wolves back on possession. Ekitike showing his strength. Just pokes the ball to Frimpong.
Oh, one more, he's in.
Salah Held up by Angel Gomez, just comes to a standstill on this near side, the right. Frimpong was then on the overlap but not utilised. Ball goes in field, Szoboszlai with his braided hair, now towards McAllister, Kerkez to his left. Ball goes forward towards Gakpo, a little touch off the head there by Ekitike. And then Mane back there helping out, and Wolves have got plenty of shirts back behind the ball. João Gomez, another turn away from McAllister, linking up with Andre. McAllister managed to put a foot into that, and then it broke back towards the goalkeeper, Jose Sá.
Yeah, he can get a little bit overconfident. João Gomez just playing little flicks around the corner. He was caught out earlier by McAllister, and it led to an opportunity for Cody Gakpo. And when he did that, Rob Edwards almost like his head in his hands as if to say, oh, not that one again. It's obviously an overconfidence that he has in his own ability. You cannot do that in the Premier League, especially on the edge of your own penalty area.
Good noise being created by the Wolverhampton Wanderers supporters inside Molineux tonight as they get a decision in their favour from referee Thomas Bramall, and that will be a free kick to the home side. 17 minutes played. So I heard Kelly earlier on say that we've got 22 commentaries between tonight and next Monday, but you throw in that the Champions League last 16 next Tuesday and Wednesday, and we're looking to bring you 4 games, so that'll be 26 games over the next 9 days, which is a lot of football on 5 Live.
It certainly is, yeah, and it's getting to that interesting part of the season, isn't it? So yeah, I think whichever game we're involved in at the moment, it's a pleasure to be there, and looking forward to most of them. I'm covering the Galatasaray game next week, Liverpool. That'll be a fascinating game. I can't wait for that one.
And the support is for Diego Jota in the 20th minute. Of course, he played for both sets of supporters. And in fact, there's a banner on that far side in the Liverpool section. Obrigado, Diogo, forever our number 20. But he wore the 18 shirt for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And so it's the Wolverhampton Wanderers supporters who are singing his name, but is being joined in by the Liverpool supporters on the far side, and I'm sure it'll be reciprocated in a couple of minutes as well. But he had 131 appearances and 44 goals in his 3 years at Molineux before Liverpool signed him for £41 million. And fondly remembered by both sets of supporters.
Yeah, they absolutely adored him here. He was so important to Wolves, and the promotion, staying within the Premier League, and then the fee that they got for him. I think a lot of people thought, can he step up into that Liverpool team? Is he capable? And he did brilliant for Liverpool as well.
Yeah, it's going to be the next 2 minutes where he will just be fondly remembered and much love inside the stadium for Diogo Jota. Sam Finley, incidentally, has been sent off for Tranmere Rovers in first half stoppage time. Newport County 1, Tranmere Rovers 1 is the latest score in League 2. FA Cup 4th round tie taking place tonight at Vale Park. Sani Rudavajala.
Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0, bottom of League 1, holding mid-table championship. Vale's Ben Waine with the best chance, ball over the top. Joe Lumley with a big save. Waine again close with a header in stoppage time from a corner. They've taken it to them, but it's level at the break. Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0.
And a key game in the championship, Ipswich Town and Hull City both in playoff positions. Emily Herbert.
0-0 at half-time. Ipswich the better of the chances. Hurst from close range. Hull hot on the counter, but little to show for it. A big game, as you say, in the race for automatic promotion. A winner for either side, and they'll go 3 points behind second. Half-time, Ipswich 0, Hull 0.
Yeah, Middlesbrough had a very big win at St Andrews last night against Birmingham City. As Liverpool still 0-0 here against Wolves for this 8:15 kickoff. Van Dijk to Konate, and now with Frimpong on this near side, the right over the halfway line. His diagonal ball in field, looking for Ekitike, and it will be Doherty who can clear it for the home side. And Chichawa actually is behind him in the penalty area, who hits it long. Just a cushion header, and then glanced into the path of Konate by the Liverpool captain, Virgil van Dijk. Frimpong coming forward. This is Salah, 10 yards inside the touchline, actually strikes Angel Gomez, and then it was Andre with a knockdown header to João Gomez, and Andre just tussling for the ball, and then Krejci plays it forward towards João Gomez, who lets it come across his body. I think he had a nudge in the back by Szoboszlai, and as Gravenberch then comes in, Gravenberch's going to get shown a yellow card for a foul.
I don't know what he's moaning at, and I don't understand why Virgil van Dijk stepped out of his position to say that it's not a foul. There was a shove in the back, firstly on Gomez, he steps away, and then Gravenberch goes to ground, and then kicks through the player. I just don't understand why the Liverpool players are moaning. It's a clear yellow card.
Yeah. I mean, he was always struggling to keep his balance. I mean, even Arne Slot, looking at his reaction, was a little bit bewildered, but I think he was caught, wasn't he?
He definitely was, but that wasn't the first challenge that Gravenberch's made. He was lucky before not to pick up a yellow card, so it was on its way at some point.
So Gravenberch gets the first booking of the night after 22 minutes. This is Konate for Liverpool. We're midway through the first half. Chance at Bournemouth, Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, 4 minutes played in the second half. Ian, it's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. Low cross from the right-hand side from Bournemouth, and Tavernier got there before his defender and hit the foot of the post. That's the closest we've come this evening. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0.
Ekitike out to Kirkes. Still goalless at Molineux here in the Premier League. We're going to Bromley in a moment. This is Ekitike still for Liverpool. Infield to McAllister. Forced him a little bit wide. Had to dive into the challenge. Not once but twice does he win the ball. And this now with Szoboszlai to Frimpong. Frimpong cuts the ball back. Szoboszlai bounced away from him with his first touch of his left boot. And then Salah is just brushed off the ball, but Salah then wins it back. Salah inside the area, tries to get it back towards Szoboszlai. But Wolves just had so many golden shirts back there. There's a Wolves player down, and Rob Edwards is keen that the ball goes out of play. It does now. It means we can go to Bromley. Angus Patterson.
Half-time, Bromley 0, Oldham Athletic 0. Very few chances here as the defence is on top at both ends, and Bromley have lost their top goal scorer, Michael Cheek. But as it stands, the league leaders extending their unbeaten run to 17. Bromley 0, Oldham Athletic 0.
The only unbeaten side at home in England's top 5 divisions. They are 4 points clear of Cambridge United at the top of League Two. Andy Woodman has done an absolutely superb job with Bromley in League Two this season. And the stoppage is for Angel Gomez, who's the player who's down.
Yeah, it was one of those challenges from Alexis McAllister, like you said. 2 challenges he went into. It was the first one, just overstretched for the ball. Andre Gomez, I think he clashed shins with Alexis McAllister, and he stayed down. I think he'll be okay. And that was a missed opportunity for Liverpool. Mohamed Salah gave the ball away a couple of times in the penalty area. Just doesn't look his usual sharp self that we're so used to seeing from him. Just a little bit low in confidence at the moment.
But Wolves now are competitive, and you look back at their recent games at home. You know, they've only lost 2 of their last 6, and the 2 drawn games against Newcastle and Arsenal. You know, it's now all of us. It's not an easy place to come to, is it? People think, oh, Wolves are going down, it'll be easy. I don't think that's the case anymore.
No, so often we look at managerial changes and we think, was it the right thing to do? Was it the right change? Well, I think it was, and I think Rob Edwards has done a good job since he's come in. He has made them more competitive. They look more organised. They look like they've got an idea of how they want to play. They are a counter-attacking team, especially in the games against the bigger teams. But they've got the capabilities to do that as well with the pace that they've got on the break. And I think they feel at the moment on the pitch that, OK, Liverpool are controlling the game in terms of possession, but they'll carry a decent threat on the break.
0-0, that's the voice of Stephen Warnock. 25 minutes played. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live, and we're also live on the BBC Sounds app. Gakpo to Kirkes, sweeps it in first time, and then Andre gives the ball away. Angel Gomez yet to come back onto the field. Temporarily Wolves are down to 10. Rob Edwards is complaining that he's walking down the touchline, but still the 4th official waiting for Thomas Bramall to wave him on. He's got, of course, wait at least 30 seconds.
Yeah, but he can't let him on the same side where the passage of players go, and Liverpool were coming down this right-hand side in front of us, and that is where Gomez was, so he can't let him just come on and tackle a player.
Here is Salah on this near side, the right, to Szoboszlai. Again, the first touch from him took the ball away from the Hungarian international. But he's back on the ball now midway through this Wolves half. To Van Dijk, forward of the centre circle, inside Wolves territory. To Gakpo on that far side, the left level of the penalty area. Gakpo comes in field, challenge on the Dutchman. Gravenberch tries to help him out. Gakpo and Gravenberch. There was a foul on Armstrong on a yellow card, but not every foul has to result in a second yellow, but he will have to be careful, Gravenberch. He'll have to watch his discipline.
Yeah, absolutely will, because there's been a fair few challenges from him, and also the crowd will start to play a part in that. They'll start to jump on every challenge that he makes, but Cody Gakpo, the problem there for Liverpool, just overrunning the ball, almost running into a posse of gold shirts and crowded out. He often does that when he wants to come inside on that right foot.
Here is Kerkez on the Liverpool left. Van Dijk. McAllister just runs back almost alongside the Liverpool captain, and in the centre circle he passes the ball forward to Konate. As a result, the fullbacks are pushed on. Here is Frimpong on this near side, the right, and back to McAllister, who's extremely deep. He's got the two central defenders either side of him. Armstrong is there. He's going to run towards Konate. Armstrong actually makes the challenge on Konate, and it goes out for a Liverpool throw.
Shape's good from Wolves. They're very well organised, and they're finding it really tough, Liverpool, to get the ball into Ekitike, into Mohamed Salah, into Cody Gakpo. They're allowing it to go across the back, and then they're cutting off the spaces into that midfield area. McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch haven't had an influence on this game so far.
And the way that Armstrong is dropping, it is at times, or it looks a false nine.
Yeah, it is, and that's what he has to do for his team, and you saw it there when he ran back and challenged Konate and wins the ball back for his team.
Ball scooped forward, chested off by Szoboszlai. Ekitike scuffed at that, tried to hit it right-footed. I think he just brushed it with his studs, didn't he?
I think he tried to toe poke it.
Completely missed it as a result. Kerkez now delivers across from the left, deep in the area, and that's headed out by Muller-Wolf. Frimpong races, keeps the ball in play, level the area right-hand side. Down the line it goes then towards Salah, and Angel Gomez a track back with him and blocks that with his shins, and it will be a Liverpool corner kick on this near side, the right. 0-0, 29 minutes played.
Yeah, the best work from Liverpool so far has come down the left-hand side from Kerkez, and this time it was Frimpong. They need to get him on the ball higher up the pitch. Mohamed Salah might just have to go inside a little bit more and play as almost like a false nine alongside Ekitike to get him into the game more, because he is such a dangerous player.
He has to move one of the furry boom mics that the television company was using to take this corner kick to get his angles right. He goes towards the far post, and Muller-Wolf on that far post heads it away and then chases after it, and then actually volleys it further clear and out in front of the travelling support that has filled every single one of those sections on that bottom tier on the far side as we approach the half-hour mark here at Molineux. And this is Szoboszlai, who actually, the pace is so slow now for Liverpool that they're at a walking pace at Liverpool. Szoboszlai wants the game, but Wolves have dropped off. They're defending very, very deep. Konate to Frimpong. Frimpong finds McAllister, but as Stephen was saying, they're happy to see Liverpool have the ball in this area, because at the minute they're not getting round the back.
Now the press is good as well, so when it goes into those midfield areas, they're tight, they're making sure that they're pressing the Liverpool players, not really allowing them to get their heads up and pick a pass. But I think the ball has to be moved quicker from a Liverpool point of view. It's too slow, it really is. It's too easy to play against for Wolves at the moment.
I don't think we've had a proper chance yet in the game, have we?
No, we haven't.
Frimpong looks to go on the outside. But that was well defended by Chichawa, who popped up on this near side, and then he in fact chips the ball forward towards Szoboszlai. But I think Wolves will be quite happy with a point here. I mean, they've avoided the unwanted record that was set by Derby in 07-08 of 11 points, the fewest points in a Premier League campaign. They've still got to try and avoid being one of the worst sides, not just in Premier League history, but in top flight history. that Stoke in 1889/90 had 13 points. Darwin, 15 points in 1891-92, and a little bit more recently, Sunderland in 2006 also had 15 points in the top flight. As the ball is cleared away by Santiago Bueno,
what a touch.
And now Angel Gomez is unable to get onto the forward ball from João Gomez as we go to Everton and Lee Blakeman.
Everton 1, Burnley 0, but Everton have had a second goal disallowed. Idrissa Gueye down the centre, played in Iliman and Jai. Nice finish, across goal. Offside flag went up on the far side, and VAR have just confirmed it. Everton 1, Burnley 0.
The 3 games tonight that all kicked off at 7:30 are all live. Ellen Road leads Sunderland Sports Extra. Sports Extra 2 for Everton, Burnley, and Bournemouth Brentford is on Sports Extra 3. Here we are on 5 Live, and it was Chichawa who went to ground, and that will be a free kick to Wolves inside their penalty area. Well, I'm glad we had the fireworks and the pyrotechnics ahead of the game, because we've had nothing on the pitch.
No, we haven't had anything, have we? We've had a really well-organised Wolves team, a Liverpool team that don't look like they're capable of breaking them down right at this moment in time. Pace is too slow from Liverpool, but Wolves will be delighted with the way the game is going at the moment.
There's not much to get excited about, let's put it that way. 13 minutes to go to half-time. Gakpo tries to wriggle free. Foot in the challenge, the ball goes infield towards Szoboszlai. Frimpong now comes onto it. Right corner of the area, delivers the cross, and it comes off the head of João Gomez. One bounce, and it's out for a Liverpool throw. About 6 yards up from the corner flag on this near side.
Were you here the night that Hungary played England?
Yes.
Or England played Hungary, should I say?
Yes.
And Szoboszlai was outstanding, wasn't he? I remember it was really the first time that I ever saw him play and thought, oh, wow,
yeah,
what a player he is.
Yeah, it was the 4 games in the Nations League then, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Italy, I think, was the other game they played here from memory. Hungary scored 4 goals that
4-0,
night.
yeah.
We haven't even got one to remember here tonight, and no sign of one either, which is the more disturbing aspect from a neutral's point of view.
Absolutely.
Here is João Gomez, able to turn, hardly race forward. He's jogging, but he's got a lot of space to do so, but his cross was poor and cleared away by Van Dijk, back to where it came from.
There's just no pressure on him either from the Liverpool players, is there? And look how much space they've got, the Wolves players, to pick out the pass.
Chichawa, he has been one of the bright sparks every time he's on the ball. Doherty delivers a cross from the right. Alisson had to collect that because Krejci was the player who was up from the back and was waiting to try and pounce as the long throw out from Alisson. A little bit of acceleration from Santiago Bueno, the Uruguayan international, and tidies up with a back pass towards Jose Sarr. There's no urgency in the game.
No, it's not often that Alisson picks the wrong pass or picks the wrong player, but he did then. He looked at Mohamed Salah, but Ekitike was the pass that was on the left-hand side, and you'd fancy Ekitike to outrun his man. And Salah at the moment just doesn't seem to have that burst of pace to get away from players.
Liverpool in possession with Ekitike. But Santiago Bueno will just step out of defence, and Wolves now have it, tied it up. Krejci with a back pass. Jose Sarr has got to put his foot through that right foot. It hits it first time. Van Dijk easily deals with Armstrong, played forward both by Frimpong and Salah at the first time of asking, and then on the half volley it's clattered away by Sarr, the Wolves goalkeeper. Armstrong unable to control that. It did drop a long way out of the dark sky here in the Black Country. McAllister urges Kirkez and Gakpo to go on ahead of him as he trots his way forward. Ekitike, McAllister to Kirkez. Back it goes to the Argentine. Wolves again defending in numbers. Szoboszlai is going to try one from long range, and with one bounce it went straight through towards Jose Sarr, and then Szoboszlai has got to run back because he's had an eye on Adam Armstrong, but Van Dijk is also covering with the header back. But at least we've had a shot on target. Updated Ellen Road, Sarah Mulkerins.
Well, it's not much to talk about here either. It's Leeds 0, Sunderland 0. Both sides had a couple of free kicks, ably dealt with both defences, as Dominic Calvert-Lewin just tried to get on the ball into the area, but Sunderland ably clear it there. Not much to shout about here. It's Leeds 0, Sunderland 0.
But a little bit more to shine about at Everton. Lee Blakeman.
2-0 to Everton, and Jai with the through ball this time. Dewsbury Hall on the end of it, inside the 6 yards area. Tidy finish, Everton in control. Everton 2, Burnley 0.
So for Burnley, without a clean sheet now in 25 Premier League games away from home, that would be 1 win in 20, as Everton would finally get their first win since early December when they beat Nottingham Forest.
You've gone early there. They came from 3-0 down at the weekend.
That is true, but that was at Turf Moor.
Very true.
They're a different proposition away from home. Leeds 0, Sunderland 0. What's happening at Bournemouth? Sahel Sahi.
Goalless here at 2, Ian. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, both evenly matched sides, and it's also a very watchable game though, even though it's scoreless. Christie carved out a chance for Tavernier. He got in the way actually from the shot. Tavernier tripped over the ball and it just trickled wide of the far post of the goals. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0.
Commentary of that continues on Sports Extra 3. Kerkez passes the ball back along the ground towards Van Dijk. Can you remember on Saturday when we worked together and you were trying to be the editor for Match of the Day by saying, I wonder what game will lead first on Match of the Day, such was the amount of goals that were being scored.
Yeah.
Match of the Day tomorrow, and bearing in mind that it could be Kelly presenting tomorrow night, it's a little bit like Play School when you had to guess what the window was going to be as to who's going to be presenting tomorrow night. It's on 10:40 on BBC One, but I know what games are going to be towards the end of the running order tomorrow night, the way it's currently going. When you've got Sarah Mulcairn saying there's not much happening at Ellen Road, certainly not a great deal has happened here.
Absolutely nothing happening here.
And we've still not no goals at Bournemouth.
Yeah, this is one of those games when you're in the Match of the Day studio, you're watching it thinking, what can we talk about? What can we pick out for analysis? Well, the one thing you'd be picking out is Wolves' organisation and how they stopped Liverpool playing through. But apart from that, not much else at the moment.
You might have just pricked the ears of Kelly if she is on duty tomorrow. I'd be surprised if she is, because it's her dad's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Turns 75, does the great man Sir Kenny Dalglish. As St Mirren have equalised at Tannadice. Dundee United 1, St Mirren 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. 7 minutes to go to half-time, and it remains 0-0. And that was a blatant push in the back on Gakpo by Doherty. And that'll be a free kick to Liverpool. Who's the onus on then in this game? Bearing in mind that Wolves have got a game plan, they're sticking to it. Bottom of the table, but would take the point, whereas Liverpool in that race for Champions League qualification would ideally want the 3.
Oh, it's always on Liverpool because they're the team higher in the league and they're the better team on paper, but at the moment they're not showing that will and that desire to try and get into those top places. I mean, you've got a great opportunity to put a marker down tonight and make life difficult for the other teams tomorrow, but at the moment they're just not doing it.
Currently 3 points adrift of Manchester United and Villa, who are ahead of them in the table. Frimpong's just having a word with referee Thomas Bramall. He was tripped by Andre. It's going to be a Liverpool free kick. This is just over, 30 yards out from goal. It's about 8-10 yards in from the right touchline. Liverpool are playing from left to right. So Bosley is ready to take it. Frimpong had walked away. He's now gone back forward, down by the touchline on this near side, the right. And with it, he just gets the attention of Muller-Wolf. So they've only got one in the behind the vanishing sprayers. In comes the free kick, and it comes off a Liverpool player. Or did it? Because McAllister there was talking. Was that last off Krejci?
Yeah, I think he's saying it's off Krejci, but I actually thought it was off McAllister. I mean, so often McAllister times his jumps ever so well in that penalty area for such a small player. I'm just seeing the replay. No, it's off McAllister. It's clearly off him.
It's no longer goalless at Ellen Road. Sarah Mulcairn.
It is not. It is currently Leeds 1, Sunderland 0, coming from an Anton Stack free kick, left-hand side out, whipped it in, and there was Joe Rodon at the far post, getting ahead to it to fire it in. At the moment, Leeds 1, Sunderland 0. There may well be a check on it.
OK, we'll keep you keep us updated on that. That is live on Sports Extra. Sunderland, who have just started to stutter after what was an excellent start to the season. 17 points from their first 9 games. They've taken just 20 points from their last 19. as Salah goes in pursuit of the ball, but coming back to cover was Doherty. Here is Muller-Wolf, gives it straight then to McAllister. Liverpool pass the ball quickly, Szoboszlai to Kerkez. Kerkez was in a central area, now finds Gakpo over on that far side. Gakpo enters the penalty area, pace picks up from Liverpool, and they should get a corner kick, and they do. 0-0.
Yeah, it's important that Gakpo actually shifts the ball down the line at times. We said at the weekend, so often he wants to come inside on that right foot, but Milos Kerkez there just trying to inject a little bit of pace into the Liverpool attack.
Liverpool have a corner, far side the left. We've got just under 4 minutes to go to half-time. Still Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. A lot of jostling and moving around. And the goalkeeper, Jose Sarr, is trying to push players away to create more room, then doesn't beat the first man. Szoboszlai headed out by Adam Armstrong. Frimpong has got time to collect this, and then towards Gravenberch. Back to Sarah at Ellen Road.
Decision has come through, and it is still Leeds 0, Sunderland 0. It was ruled off offside for Joe Rodon, who had thought he had put his side ahead. So it is Leeds 0, Sunderland 0.
Commentary still continues on Sports Extra. Frimpong had the opportunity to beat his man, and instead goes back, and you're thinking, go and take him on the outside.
It's safe, isn't it? Everything is safe at the moment from Liverpool's point of view. It's just backwards, sideways. What did Arne Slot say this week? He's a bit bored of football. And his team aren't entertaining tonight, that's for sure.
No. Here is Kerkez. There's some scathing comments as well by Ruud Gullit. You know, these days, he's just saying it's pass, pass, pass. You don't see players take on anyone anymore.
No, it's almost like they're not allowed to. I always remember that interview with Maresca, where one of the Chelsea players went to pass the ball forward and he turned back and the crowd started booing, and he asked the question, he said, well, if he'd have passed it forward, I'd have taken him off. I thought, what is that all about? Yeah. Incredible. Let's have a freedom.
Yeah, they have. Here is Gakpo. Gakpo enters the penalty area. Gakpo gets the shot away, takes a deflection, is going to loop behind and over the head of Salah. It'll go out for a Liverpool corner kick. Still 0-0, and we've got 2 minutes to go to half-time. I hope Kelly is standing by the way, because the half-time summing up will be brief.
Oh, it certainly will.
Unless, of course, something happens in these next 2 minutes or so. So Salah on this near side, the right, is going to take the corner kick. Wolves have got everybody back. Salah left-footed, another corner kick that doesn't beat the first man. Again, easily headed out by Adam Armstrong.
That's 3 corners from Liverpool that hit the front man. And we talk about Arsenal's ability to win games from set pieces. Well, their deliveries are always spot on. Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, incredible delivery. Szoboszlai and Salah's deliveries today has been really off. However, against West Ham, it was on the money.
Here is Gakpo. Gravenberch goes to the left to find Kerkez. Szoboszlai now with Kerkez once again. This suits Wolves to an absolute T. They just drop off, and Liverpool are playing in front of them. Here is Salah on this near side. Salah, he was shown on the outside. He didn't take the opportunity by Chichawa on this near side. Chichawa is actually now playing on this left. Szoboszlai stabs it towards Gravenberch. Gravenberch's got Kerkez in front of him. Gakpo is the one who's forced out wide, keeps the ball in play, down by the byline on the Liverpool left. Gakpo will wait on the left-hand side. Gakpo now towards Gravenberch. Gravenberch looking for a shooting opportunity. Here now is Konate. Konate to Frimpong. Frimpong delivers the ball into the penalty area. Ekitike is there. It's headed up. Punched away by Sarr as we go to Ellen Road and Sarah Mulkerrins.
And Sunderland have been awarded a free for a handball from Ethan Ampadu in the area just moments after they had a goal ruled out for offside. The referee, Stuart Atwell, went to the monitor, had a look at it and then pointed to the spot. So now Habib Diarra is on the spot for Sunderland with an opportunity for them to take the lead. Nothing has happened in this match for 65 minutes, and suddenly Ellen Road has come alive as Habib Diarra takes a long walk backwards. Can he put the visitors ahead? It would be totally against the run of play. Leeds have been firmly on top as whistles and boos ring around Ellen Road, and a gentle run up. and they got a touch to it, but it is in. Darlow tried to save it, but eventually it ricocheted in, and it is Leeds 0, Sunderland 1.
So Sunderland take the lead with that penalty live on Sports Extra. Everton still lead Burnley by 2-0, and Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0 is the latest score. They've had a little bit of a checkered history from the spot this season, haven't they, Sunderland? But Habib Diarra with that goal then from the penalty spot for Sunderland at Ellen Road. Granit Xhaka, I think I heard Sarah say, was only on the bench as Wolves are furious with the referee, thinking that they should have had a throw on this near side. And instead, the decision in 2 minutes of stoppage time goes in Liverpool's favour, and Paul Trollope was the one who was off the bench there also, to be absolutely livid with the assistant referee.
What's the assistant referee doing? I can see that from where I am, that is a clear Wolves throw-in, and he's looking at it. It's incredible.
0-0, stoppage time here at Molineux. This is Andre. Runs away from McAllister. Down the line it goes to Angel Gomez on this near side, the left. McAllister closes him down. He's still furious, I think, McAllister. He's certainly pumped up anyway, is the Liverpool midfielder, and Wolves are in no real hurry to take it. My word, there is the half-time whistle, and we've had one effort on goal, really, from Szoboszlai. About 40 yards out. Sarr was comfortable. Stephen.
I just hope the half-time pies are good, because that's been very difficult to watch. That has been really good from a Wolves point of view, as the organisation, how to contain Liverpool, how to make life difficult for them. From a Liverpool point of view, so slow, so boring to watch at the moment, and that's been a tough watch, and hopefully there's going to be a big improvement in the second half.
Liverpool extremely uninspiring. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0.
Ian Dennis and Stephen Warnock, thank you very much. Stephen, you talked about Wolves' organisation. Is that why this has been such a kind of lacklustre first-half performance from Liverpool, do you think? Is it because of how Wolves have set up against them and stopped them?
It will make it difficult, Kelly, but you've got to find a solution, and you've got to find people who can take people on in 1v1 situations. Tenno spoke about it in the commentary there, where Mohamed Salah had the opportunity to take someone on, so did Frimpong, but they're just backing away from it and taking the easy option at the moment. There's been a lot made of Rio Engamoa when he's come onto the pitch, that he plays without fear, and we've spoke about it so many times, is that the losing Luis Diaz in the summer, a player who would go and beat players in 1v1 situations. At the moment, Liverpool simply don't have that player.
Liverpool have scored 7 of their last 9 Premier League goals from set pieces, 5 of them from corners. But what's been going on tonight?
Well, they just keep on hitting the front man, trying to be too cute with the delivery. I mean, these are top-class players, world-class players. Szoboszlai has been Liverpool's best player this season. Mohamed Salah, we know the quality that he's got in his left foot, but they keep on trying to be a little bit too accurate. And when you make that, when you put a cluster of players around that goalkeeper, I don't think you have to be as accurate. I think you've just got to make sure that you get it into that area, in and around the 6-yard box, in and around the goalkeeper's area, and cause problems. And they just haven't done that tonight. It's been poor. It's been a little bit a lack of concentration on those set pieces.
Stephen Warnock, Ian Dennis, thank you very much. We'll be back for what we hope for, from your point of view, is a much better second half from Molineux. It's Wolves 0, Liverpool 0 at the break. We'll be back there very shortly. Ben Mee is with us throughout the evening as well. Ben, not an awful lot to say about that first half at Molineux, is there?
No, we need some goals for sure. Just to add on what Stephen
Or even chances would do.
Chances, the creativity. There just looks to be a lack of confidence from Liverpool, barring Ekitike. I think there's just a bit of lack of confidence, lack of creativity, and not really a lot to go off on that half.
The Premier League goals this evening, though, are coming at Everton. Lee Blakeman is watching.
Yeah, we've had 2 so far. One's been disallowed as Dewsbury Hall's awarded a free kick on the edge of the D here, and it should be 3-0 thanks to Idris Gueye, who's just hit the crossbar in from the left on the 18 yards line. Right foot shot. It was dipping. Dubravka beaten, and it crashed off the top of the bar. Great effort. 16 to play. Everton 2, Burnley 0.
Thank you very much for that, Lee. Let's check in elsewhere in we will catch up with everything that's happening in the Premier League very shortly, but we are going to check in with what's happening in the EFL, in the Championship in particular, where it's Ipswich against Hull City, and Emily Herbert is watching.
And it's 0-0. A lively start though. Both sides looking to get forward quickly. Little to show for it though. No side has really taken control. Really end to end here at Portman Road. A big 3 points on the line in the fight for automatic promotion to the Premier League. 3 points would take either side 3 behind second. Half an hour to go. Ipswich 0, Hull 0.
And in League 2, Bromley against Oldham. Angus Patterson.
Bromley 0, Oldham Athletic 0. It was a dull first half and it's not been much better in the second. Oldham with the best chance. Kane Drummond flashing his right-footed shot just past the post in the ensuing corner. Came to nothing for the visitors. So Bromley missing the chance as it stands to go 7 clear at the top of League 2. It will be 5 and their unbeaten run will be 17 if the score stays as it does, but we're hoping for a goal to bring this game to life. Bromley 0, Oldham Athletic 0.
We'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening in the EFL this evening, and of course in the Premier League, where they're into the second half of 3 of the games that are taking place. Wolves against Liverpool was an 8:15 kickoff, so we'll be back there for the second half very shortly, and we'll round up the rest of the day's sports news after the BBC News with Mark Summers.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Donald Trump has criticised Keir Starmer and the UK's initial response to US-Israeli strikes on Iran, saying this is not Winston Churchill we're dealing with. There's been no response from Downing Street. The US president has also told reporters almost everything's been knocked out in Iran, including its Navy, Air Force and air defences. Here, the Prime Minister has announced a Royal Navy destroyer, HMS Dragon, will be deployed to the Mediterranean, along with helicopters with anti-drone capabilities. They're expected to boost security around RAF Akrotiri on Cyprus. Meanwhile, the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, has said the US and Israel's military operations against Iran are being conducted outside international laws. He's promised to defend French interests and citizens in the region and says France's only aircraft carrier will be deployed to the eastern Mediterranean. And in her spring statement, the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, has said her economic plan is working, despite the growth estimate for the UK being lowered for this year. The Independent Office for Budget Responsibility has cut its expected growth rate for 2026 from 1.4% to 1.1%.
New teams.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be epic.
New rules.
I talk in feelings and all the engineers here talk in numbers.
A new era. Formula One returns. And it all begins on Sunday at the Albert Park Circuit in Melbourne, Australia. Hear it live. Sunday morning from 4 on 5 Live.
And download the Checkered Flag podcast for interviews, reaction and analysis.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is 5 Live Sports with Kelly Cates.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Plenty of live football taking place this evening. There's one FA Cup tie at the moment that's underway. Port Vale against Bristol City. Sani Radravajula is there.
65 gone. Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0. The winner of this will host Sunderland in the FA Cup 5th round, lunchtime on Sunday. And at the moment, neither side looks like they want to be doing that. Port Vale, remember, are bottom of League One, but they are holding their own against mid-table in the Championship, Bristol City. Both have made a raft of substitutions, including Ben Mee's old teammate, Andre Gray, who signed for Port Vale from a spell in Turkey. He takes the field and could he make the difference? Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0.
In the Premier League, there's been a chance at the Vitality Stadium. Sahil Sahi.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the first goal of the evening, Kelly. It's still Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, 10 minutes to play. The goal was disallowed. It went into the back of the Brentford net. It was Evan Nielsen. He was way offside, actually, 5 yards offside. But he finished it superbly, tricked his way past one Brentford defender, then slotted it past Kelleher, but he was a good 2-3 yards offside. 9 minutes to play, Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0.
And just the one goal, but plenty of drama at Elland Road this evening. Sarah Mulkerrins.
Absolutely, it's Leeds 0, Sunderland 1. Leeds are pushing for an equaliser. They've been firmly on top in this match. They thought they had pulled ahead with Joe Rodon. That was ruled offside, and then just moments later, a penalty given for an Ampadu handball, and Diarra able to get it past Darlow. So Daniel Farker has just made a couple of attacking changes. Nanto and Dan James are on, and James just flashed a shot across the face of goal. 11 minutes left. Leeds 0, Sunderland 1.
And Everton on course to end that poor run of form at home. They're up against Burnley. Lee Blakeman.
11 minutes left here too. Everton 2, Burnley 0. Everton have just had another chance. Dewsbury Hall with a free kick, 22 yards out, put in the shot, took a deflection. Dubravka made a good save. Everton 2, Burnley 0.
Ben Mee is with us this evening as well. Ben, Bournemouth against Brentford, no goals as yet, but it's starting to open up. Not before time, with about 10 minutes left to go.
Yeah, Kelly, I think Evan Nielsen, it was the one who was offside. He was way offside, to be fair, but managed to put the ball in the back of the net. There's not been too much Bournemouth pushing forward now to try and get that winner at home. I think Brentford probably would settle for a point at this moment in time.
After an absolute flurry of goals at the weekend, the Premier League being a little bit less giving this evening. Couple of goals for Everton, 1 for Sunderland, and we'll be back for second half commentary of Wolves against Liverpool, which is 0-0 at the moment. Before then, we're going to Mumbai, where England's T20 side are preparing to take on the hosts India in the World Cup semi-final on Thursday. It'll be live on BBC Sounds and Sports Extra starting at 1:30. Here's England all-rounder Sam Curran.
Excited, what an opportunity to play, I guess, the hosts in their home ground. Obviously Wankhede, a very iconic stadium. A couple of days training now, so kind of what dreams are made of, really. Semi-final of the World Cup against India. I guess it doesn't really get that much bigger, I guess. It's hopefully we turn up on the night and have a great game. We've played a lot of cricket in India as well, so we know what to expect from them, and I guess a really good team. There'll be pressure all round, so I guess huge opportunity, and hopefully it comes good for us.
Does it matter, or is it a worry that you've been in Sri Lanka? India have been to Sri Lanka once in this tournament, but have had a good run in India now. Is that a concern?
No, I think it's a positive. I think the surfaces we've played on have been so different. We've played on some really good ones, some turners, some bit of dew, no dew. So I think we've covered most of our kind of challenges, and kind of everyone's been saying we haven't played that perfect game. And I think the main thing we all care about is that we've managed to win, and we're in a semi-final 3 from 3, and that's Super 8. So we're very high on confidence. It's semi-final cricket. It's kind of, there's no going back now. We turn up on the night and give it everything, and hopefully it's enough. Winning is a habit in T20 cricket. I firmly believe that. I think it's almost quite exciting that we haven't played that 225 with the bat and bowling a team out for 60 kind of thing. And there's a lot of guys in our team, such dangerous players. If we can all come good on that night, we'll be an extremely dangerous side to beat.
That was Matt Henry asking the questions there. And South Africa against New Zealand is the first semi-final, live on Sports Extra tomorrow from 1:30. India against England is on Thursday before the final on Sunday afternoon. In other sports news, England have made 12 changes to their starting lineup to face Italy in the Six Nations on Saturday, including Finn Smith starting at fly half. There'll be commentary of that match on 5 Live Sport on Saturday from 4:40. And there's more reaction to today's team news announcement on the Rugby Union Weekly podcast, which is daily during the tournament, even though it's not changed its name. And a new episode is available first thing tomorrow morning on BBC Sounds. Brentford is goalless. Everton are 2-0 up at home to Burnley. Leeds trail Sunderland by a 0-0 Diarra penalty. They're in the early kickoffs, which have got about 5 minutes of time left in them, plus, of course, whatever's added on there. We're about to head off to Molineux for the second half of Wolverhampton Wanderers against Liverpool. No goals in that one. And Ben, I think when you look at Liverpool's league position, you look at the number of the goals that they have managed to score this season. Only one away Premier League goal they've managed to score before the 45th minute. All season, it's been a very, very quiet first half, typically for Liverpool away from home. And we talked earlier about the fact that sometimes and often this season, their second half performances has dropped off. They've put themselves in a pretty dangerous situation here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wasn't expecting that stat, but I think Arne Slot would be hoping for a much more positive performance second half against a dangerous Wolves side. They can be dangerous. They've got some quality in Mane and Tachoa who can certainly hurt teams on the break, and they've sat in a little bit, and Liverpool have moved the ball slow. So I think Arne Slot would be expecting them to move the ball a lot quicker, take more risks, and create more chances, as we said at the beginning, just after half time.
It's been a difficult night for Burnley at Everton, who've not been on a great run of form at home, but have picked up this evening.
Yeah, they have. I don't think Burnley have really threatened too much. Watching the game, they've not really created many chances. Everton have been pretty comfortable so far. Just seeing then another attack fizzling out for Burnley, and yeah, they'll be disappointed going there. Potentially falling a little bit further behind. the teams outside the relegation zone. Obviously, results dependent, but yeah, it's a big disappointment for an Everton side who haven't, like you say, haven't really been hitting top form. They've probably made it a little bit easy for them this evening.
Yeah, it could be a tough night for them with that 2-0 defeat, and with West Ham and Nottingham Forest playing tomorrow night. And Nottingham Forest are at Manchester City, West Ham are at Fulham, and we'll keep you across all of that on 5 Live Sport tomorrow evening. So, Bournemouth goals for Brentford, Everton 2-0 up against Burnley, Leeds United trailing against Sunderland, but Leeds United really going for it since they've gone a goal behind, Ben.
Yeah, they've been putting pressure on for most of the game, if I'm honest, and Sunderland have really held out well, held out under the pressure, been very organised, looking to just hit on the break now and consolidate that lead that they've got and keep the clean sheet, which would be a fantastic away performance. They've not had much possession or created an awful lot, but Leeds, to be fair, have only had 2 on target throughout the whole game, so they've managed to keep them at bay under the lights at Ellen Road. A tough place to go, and if they can hold out, it'll be a fantastic result for them.
And watching the last few minutes at Ellen Road, it's Sarah Mulkerrins.
It is Leeds 0, Sunderland 1, but Leeds have just had the ball for the last 5 minutes or so inside the Sunderland area. There's been a couple of moments of time wasting which the home fans haven't enjoyed so far. Leeds looking to capitalise. Daniel Farke has made all his substitutions, brought on all the attacking players. He is looking for something out of this game. They have been on top, but they are trailing now to Sunderland. It's Leeds 0, Sunderland 1.
Goal at Ipswich, Emily Herbert.
And it's gone for the home side. Ipswich 1, Hull 0, and it's deserved. Ipswich straight into a spell of possession, taking it slow and finding the breakthrough through Cedric Kipre inside the box, smacked it, top corner. There was no chance Hull were getting on the end of that. A big, big goal in the race for automatic promotion. Ipswich 3 points off second as it stands. Portman Road has gone absolutely bonkers. 20 minutes to go. Ipswich 1, Hull 0.
Full-time whistles will be going in a few minutes in those games in the Premier League. We'll keep you across all of that as we head back to Molineux for the second half of Wolves against Liverpool. No goals as yet, and Liverpool look like they're making a change to try and counteract that. Your commentary team, Stephen Warnock and Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Kelly. Yep, underway, and that change is Gravenberch, who was booked in the first half, has gone off, and Curtis Jones replaces him in the midfield. So Alisson in goal, Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk and Kerkez the defence. A midfield now that looks of Szoboszlai, Jones and McAllister, Salah, Gakpo and Ekitike through the middle, as Liverpool, all in red, play from right to left. Against Wolves in their gold shirts and black shorts, have Sarr in goal. Back three have Doherty, Santiago Bueno and Krejci. Chichawa and Muller Wolf are the wing-backs, right and left respectively. Andre João Gomez, Angel Gomez, Adam Armstrong and Matthias Mane completes the lineup for Wolves. We talked in the first half as to how they've avoided that record of Derby County in the Premier League, but they, I'm sure, would not want to set a new club record. And the fewest points there was in 25 points in 2012, which is I would imagine will be their next target that they've got to try and eke out. As Jones quickly involved in the attack. Salah, his first cross was blocked, he heads it forward and it's gathered in with both arms by Jose Sarr in that penalty area away towards that left. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, interestingly, the position of Szoboszlai's changed now. He's gone into that deeper role where Gravenberch was playing, and Curtis Jones playing a little bit higher up. He's just been involved in the game straight away, moving the ball quicker, but Konate here's in the spot to bother. How he's got away with that, I'm not sure.
Konate to Alisson.
Do you think that was a foul? I just think Konate gets caught on the ball and he's too slow, sluggish. Armstrong's just... I mean, the size difference between the two of them, he's not shifting Konate. Konate just drops to the floor, and I don't think that was a foul at all. I think he got away with one there.
Yeah, there is a bit of a size issue, isn't there, between Adam Armstrong and Konate. What is he? He's 5'9", Adam Armstrong, and Konate is well over 6 foot.
That must be about 6'3" then. If Adam Armstrong's 5'9". Have you just made that up?
No, it's on my notes. 5'9".
What did you have me down as?
I can't remember that long ago. Szoboszlai with the cross. I'd have probably gone, I'd go with 5'10" for you. In it comes, punched away by Sarr.
So do you think there's an inch difference between me and Adam Armstrong?
Well, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10", but he's never 5'9".
So I got that right.
Yeah, you did with me, but I think you've got Adam Armstrong wrong.
We'll get Chris to check it.
Go on, Chris. Get busy.
Here is Szoboszlai. I'm more pleased that I got your height right. 0-0. Tells you how bad the game is already in the second half. I was talking about players' heights. Relieve the boredom. We'll go to Bournemouth. Sahel.
Yeah, 93rd minute here, Ian. It's still Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, but a real chance for Bournemouth to steal all 3 points. Tavernier headed towards the dead ball line, pulled it back for Junior Krupi. His shot was going on target. It was deflected away by one of his own players. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0.
Still 0-0. Salah, midway through the Wolves half, floats it forward, downward header by Krejci. Nice little flick by Andre, taken away from Salah, who'd raced after it, up to Angel Gomez on that far side, hooks the ball inside to Andre. Andre turns away from McAllister and then passes the ball back, and one of the back three is Krejci along the ground. A little flick by Angel Gomez towards Adam Armstrong. Run through then towards Szoboszlai, and with more urgency finds Salah. Frimpong on the overlap. Now all of a sudden there is whip. They appeal for handball, but surely the arm of Krejci was tucked in, down by his side. That would be extremely harsh. Corner kick for Liverpool.
Yeah, desperation from Liverpool players. I mean, it's just the running motion, I think, from Krejci, from what we've seen from our angle. We're going to get a replay in front of us any minute as Mohamed Salah releases the ball to Frimpong. Does he release his arm up? Is it in an unnatural position? I'm not so sure it is. He tries to drag it in by his side. That won't be a penalty.
You're not going to be happy, by the way.
He's 5'8". I've had it on good authority to my right.
Yeah, but hold on. Chris, our producer, has said he's 5'8", but he's the same source that says he's 5'8", says that you're 5'9", and there's still an inch difference.
Brilliant.
So that's the one thing that we've established today. As Salah sends in the corner from that far side, flicked onto the near post, and how did that not go in? Fired back in, deflection and cleared. It was flicked on the near post. It was Curtis Jones arriving at the far post. I think he's gone to chest it, but it's gone up rather than forward, and Liverpool somehow should have taken the lead but haven't.
Well, how did Curtis Jones miss it, and how did Kerkez miss it? I mean, that is a huge missed opportunity for Liverpool. The first quality ball that they've put into the penalty area from a corner kick. That was a big opportunity.
Well, here is Jones once again. Looks can be deceiving whether it's about an opportunity in front of goal or just the inch.
Don't you start.
No, I won't. I'm being nice to you tonight. Szoboszlai on the halfway line, goes all the way back to Alisson. That was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting to see the replay on the monitor in front of us, but that just seemed like a simple header for Curtis Jones just to put it in. Was he overconfident, like you say? Did it come at him at a funny angle when it popped up towards him? But then I was thinking, that's easy for Kerkez, but he just seemed to lose the flight of the ball completely.
Gakpo tries to link up with Kerkez. He's then caught in the head from a stray right boot by Mane. Referee Thomas Bramall will give a direct free kick to Liverpool, just a couple of yards away from the left corner of the penalty area as they play from right to left. Still 0-0, 7 minutes into this second half. An opportunity to see again. It's a flick on by Ekitike.
Oh, it hits the crossbar. That's why Kerkez misses it. But Curtis Jones should score. He almost loses. He tries to chest it. Is it kicked off his foot? It's kicked off his chest. That is an unbelievable clearance. It's phenomenal. I'm not sure who it is, whether it's João Gomez at the back post.
I think it's Andre.
Wow. How well does he do? No wonder we're thinking, how's Curtis Jones missed that? And then as it loops up in the air, it hits the crossbar and it just goes away from Milos Kerkez.
Salah with a free kick. That was a teasing one. Punched away by Sarr. Jones shoots right-footed, blocked through a crowded penalty area. Szoboszlai. Ekitike is the one who has popped up on that right-hand side. Here is Jones once again. And then his ball is cleared away by Chichauer on the edge of the penalty area. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0 is how it's finished in one of those 7:30 games, as Kirkes launches it long, and then it's headed away over on that far side by Muller-Wolf. But Liverpool are looking to step it up here in the second half. There's a little bit more urgency, the operative word being little. Here is Frimpong towards Salah. Ekitike, edge of the area. Ekitike inside towards Salah. That was good footwork, but then a good challenge coming in from Santiago Bueno, because he had Salah in full flight. And Wolves now at the minute just can't get out. Konate down the line on that right-hand side. Frimpong coming back from an offside position is caught offside. So full time on the south coast, Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, despite the no goals, Ian, there was always interest. Bournemouth with the best chances. Christie not far away, and Tavernier, he twice hit the post. From a free kick, Brentford's Sepp van den Berg's header, he produced a scrambling save by Petrovic. Bournemouth 9 unbeaten. Brentford, they remain 7th. Full time, Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0.
That was remarkable, that intervention from Andre, wasn't it?
It was absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm just still not sure how he does it. I'm just watching it again on the replay. Do you know what? It's Gakpo. I was thinking, because Andre was facing the other way, and it's Gakpo who takes it off his own teammate's chest. Wow. I mean, it took a while to see that, to work out who actually who got the touch. But Liverpool have been better since Curtis Jones entered the pitch. He does play with an intensity, moves the ball quickly at the right times, and he has just changed the dynamic of this game for Liverpool.
So I told you that looks can be deceiving. We needed 2 looks at that to get it right.
We certainly did.
And it remains 0-0.
They needed 2 looks at you when you signed in today, didn't you, to get your accreditation? Your picture hasn't half changed.
Here is Konate. So if I'm being nice to you, I thought we could reciprocate at least.
No, we can. That was nice.
Oh, cheers. Here is Jones in between the 2 central defenders who've split out wide. Fullbacks are pushed on. Liverpool 0-0 with Wolverhampton Wanderers are playing from right to left. Salah looks for the run of Ekitike. Drops to his right-hand side. Frimpong with a cross. Santiago Bueno. As Frimpong is crowded out, Wolves concede the corner kick.
They're in deep discussion down in front of us as well. Rob Edwards with his staff. There's 4 of his staff stood round him. They're not happy with this start to the second half, and understandably so. Liverpool have come out the traps in this second half and created a few opportunities already.
Dundee United have got a late goal at Tannadice. They're back in front. Dundee United 2, St Mirren 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. 0-0 here at Molineux. Hasn't been a great game. Corner kick, Salah. Gain doesn't beat the first man. How many times is that tonight for Liverpool that the corners haven't got past the first man, Adam Armstrong? All 5'8/5'9" of him. He was 5'10" then when he left. Wolves are desperate to make the change. Good noise though still being generated by the Wolverhampton Wanderers supporters. 0-0. Kirkes with a cross, and all the way in from the left towards Sarr. By the way, now for Wolves, they have not scored before half-time in any of their last 10 Premier League games. The last time they went 10 without any first-half goals was August to November in 2018. As Szoboszlai tries to drill the ball downfield, strikes the back of Angel Gomez and is diverted for the home side. And then it runs back through, past about 3 different players, and Konate is able to turn and pass it forward for Liverpool. Ekitike on the halfway line, passes it out to the right. This is Frimpong, links up with Salah. Salah waits, Frimpong with a cross, and gathered in by Sarr. Full time at Everton, Lee Blakeman.
Back-to-back wins for Everton. They've beaten Burnley 2-0. Tarkowski with a header in the first half. Dewsbury Hall with a tidy finish in the second. Everton stay 8th, but the European talk continues. Burnley, 1 league win in 20. Everton 2, Burnley 0.
And Leeds United, Sunderland still playing, with Sunderland having a slender lead at Ellen Road through that Habib Diarra penalty. I'll run through all the full-time scores in the other divisions once they're all in, as we are going to be seeing a triple change that is going to be made by Wolverhampton Wanderers. So you said, Stephen, that he wasn't happy. Rob Edwards, and he's going to make a triple change as a result of that. And what are we, 12, 13 minutes into the second half?
Yeah, I like that from a manager, though. He knows that the team aren't performing at the level that he feels that they should be. So what's he going to do? He's going to introduce a few of the players that played in the previous game, bring a little bit of energy back into the team, a physical presence in the forward area. Arakadare will come on in that centre-forward position, and it gives them a platform then to build from.
58 minutes played. Rokadare, Mosquera, two of the players. Frimpong out to that right side. Salah looks for a ball infield, gave it away, and in his eagerness to win it back has committed a foul and a free kick. So here comes the triple change for Rob Edwards, and the other player to be coming on is going to be Bellegarde. So Mosquera to replace Doherty. Rokadare will replace Armstrong, and then the third and final change will be Bellegarde, who's going to be coming on, and the player who is going to be going off is Angel Gomez. So that is the triple change for Rob Edwards. Of course, these two sides do meet again on Friday. In fact, you're doing the TV coverage, aren't you?
I am, yes.
In the FA Cup.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully it's as good as this. No, I think it'll be a completely different atmosphere within the stadium. I think the approach from Wolves will probably be a little bit different as well. I think he'll probably go a little bit stronger in that game, and like you say, Dano, hope for a cup run.
Well, whatever you do, don't mention the height of Adam Armstrong on the television, will you?
I'm going to ask him. I'm going to have to find out.
So Wolves have made the triple change. We've got half an hour to go with all the FA Cup action. Wolves, Liverpool. It will be live on 5 Live as well on Friday. We've got FA Cup and Six Nations action on Saturday. And Sunday, the Champions League next week as well. Well, this is the first of 9 successive days of live football on 5 Live. The Premier League, the FA Cup, European action. Throw in the Cheltenham Festival that starts next Tuesday. All 4 days, we'll have that covered for you. Tomorrow and Thursday, the T20 World Cup semi-finals. South Africa, New Zealand on Sports Extra from 1:15. And then England, India on Thursday, coverage from 1 o'clock. 5 Live, the home of your live sport. Even if at times we are not privileged to witness a great contest, as this has been quite dour and soporific as we go to Portman Road to Suffolk and Emily Herbert.
And it's Ipswich 1, Hull 0, and Hull are pushing in the final 3 minutes of this game. A big 3 points on the line for automatic promotion places Ipswich 3 points off second as it stands. 3 minutes to go. Ipswich 1, Hull City 0.
Sunderland are still ahead at Ellen Road, but who will they play in the FA Cup 5th round this weekend? Port Vale or Bristol City? Sani?
Well, they're none the wiser at the moment. It's still Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0. We are into the 89th minute just to find out how much stoppage time there is, but nothing to separate these two sides. A host of subs for each team. 5 minutes added on. Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0.
So extra time, potentially penalties to determine who will be at home to Sunderland. 61 minutes played. And in fact, full time now at Ellen Road. Sarah Mulkerrins.
12 minutes of added time we had, Ian. It has ended Leeds 0, Sunderland 1. The hosts were firmly on top for this. They thought they took the lead through Joe Rodon in the second half. That was ruled out offside. Then moments later, a handball from Ethan Ampadu was eventually given as a penalty after VAR intervention. Habib Diarra stepped up. He scored it. Leeds pushed for a winner. Bial thought he had levelled it. It was deflected out by Ballard. Despite all their efforts, they don't have anything from this one. Sunderland take all 3 points. Leeds 0, Sunderland 1.
Means that Leeds still on 31 points and probably still about 5 points short of that mathematical 36 mark, as Bellegarde coming forward and runs straight into the brick wall that is Ibrahim Konate. But as Wolves then committed men forward, all of a sudden Liverpool had got an opportunity. Then there's a slip by McAllister, a stumbling McAllister, still does well to hold on to the ball, but then he's dispossessed by Andre and he's stayed down McAllister. I'm not sure there was a foul in there. Wolves urged on by this crowd here at Molineux. 62 minutes played, and all of a sudden it's just starting to liven up. Rokudare lays it off towards João Gomes, can't thread it forward. Salah to Gakpo. Gakpo swivels midway through his own half. Now to Ekitike. Ekitike away from Mosquera. He's got space to run into. Left-hand side of the penalty area, still 0-0. 63 minutes played. The angle is tight. Ekitike across the face of goal. That could have easily been an own goal by Krejci. He got something on it. He's lunged into it in the 6-yard box. And then it was saved by Sarr, who throws it out. But the game has definitely picked up in tempo. All of a sudden, we've got a game to commentate on.
Yeah, here we go. We suddenly got what we wanted. We started to get a little bit of football end-to-end. Mistakes are starting to happen. It was brilliant from Ekitike on that left-hand side, taking on his man. How well did Krejci do at that back post area? Because, like you say, Deno could have easily put it into his own goal, but had to get the intervention.
Newport County are now leading the 10 men of Tranmere Rovers by 2-1. Not only will they come off the bottom of the table, they will actually go out of the 2 relegation spots at the bottom of League 2. So Newport, as it currently stands, move 22nd. Barrow and Harrogate drop down, and Harrogate now are bottom of the Football League, albeit by a point, as Newport with that goal from Cameron Evans with 2 minutes remaining. 64 minutes played, and Robertson and Ngamoa are going to be coming on for Liverpool. Talked about the bottom of League 2. Here at the top, Angus Patterson watching Bromley.
2 minutes to go here on Hayes Lane. Still Bromley 0, Oldham Athletic 0. Oldham have had the better chances in this second half. There was just a goal-mouth scramble from an Oldham Athletic corner, and Mitch Pinnock, the left wing-back from Bromley, with a brilliant goal-line clearance to keep it at Bromley 0, Oldham 0.
So the 2 changes are Robertson for Kirkes at left-back, and Rio Ngamoa, Liverpool's youngest ever goal scorer, who's now 17, comes on to replace Gakpo. So he's playing on the left. He's certainly fired up Liverpool and made a real contribution when he replaced Salah recently at Nottingham Forest on the right. But he's replaced Gakpo, who will have to wait a little bit longer for that milestone of a half-century of goals in the red shirt of Liverpool. So there, a double change being made by Arne Slot with some 25 minutes remaining.
I think that'll please the Liverpool fans to see him on the ball. Straight away, he's in the game.
And Ngamoa, and he wins a corner as well.
He's got no fear, Dano. He's got absolutely no fear. Loves taking players on. And if I was a fullback behind him, if I was Andrew Robertson, I'd just give him the ball and say, if you lose it, you lose it, but be positive losing it. Take the man on. And when you say lose it, you might get a corner or a throw-in.
Corner taken quickly. McAllister gives it back to Szoboszlai, back to McAllister. McAllister passes the ball. Salah hits it first time. He's skied that. He's hit it left-footed, just inside the penalty area on that right-hand side, and couldn't keep it down, and it will be a goal kick. And aside from the scare for Wolves early in the second half, where Gakpo denied Jones almost on the goal line, who tried to chest it in, and then it came back off the crossbar and away from Kirkes. The only other effort that Liverpool had was in the first half, Szoboszlai's 40-yard effort that was a comfortable save from Sarr.
Yeah, and there was the other opportunity when Ekitike fired it across goal, and good defending from Krejci. It was a brilliant ball across, and it looked like it was going to be a simple tap-in for McAllister at the back post, but for great defending. They have upped the tempo in the second half, but Wolves, with the changes that they made, have just starting to threaten themselves a little bit.
Well, they've won their last 2 away games in the Premier League by 1-0, have Liverpool, against Sunderland and Nottingham Forest. And it might just be that they have to be content with the same scoreline again tonight if they can find that goal as they come forward, because they are the ones pressing for it, with Frimpong out towards Salah, just in from the right touchline, level the area. Into the penalty box it goes for McAllister, tried the little turn. Krejci, good defending, then he was closed down by Jones. It'll go out for a Wolves throw on the far side. The end of 90 minutes at Vale Park, then in the FA Cup 4th round tie. Sani Rudavajala.
Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0, so he will have extra time. The winner hosts Sunderland on Sunday lunchtime. Nothing to separate the two. Port Vale, bottom of League One, have managed to hold a rotated middle of the table championship. Bristol City. Extra time on the way. Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0.
More Premier League commentaries for you tomorrow. We start at 7:30. Brighton and Hove Albion against Arsenal. Manchester City, Nottingham Forest will be on Sports Extra. Aston Villa, Chelsea will be on Sports Extra 2. And the London derby at Craven Cottage, Fulham and West Ham, will get coverage for you live on the BBC Sport website. Newcastle, Manchester United, like this one, is an 8:15 kickoff. That will start on Sports Extra 3. And then after the Brighton Arsenal game has concluded, then that will be live on 5 Live from St James's Park. Krejci to João Gomez. Ball runs through to Mane. Rodrigo Gomez is going to be coming on very, very soon for Wolves. But Mane stops on that far side, the left. And Wolves go back. This is Santiago Bueno. Now to Mosquera. And because of Ngamoa and Ekitike and pressing, Wolves go further back towards their goalkeeper, who clears. Arokadare takes it high on the chest. It bounces back towards Mane. Just turns away from Szoboszlai. Andre now in the midfield, and Wolves with João Gomez still in the middle area of the pitch here, have the ball. João Gomez though is dispossessed, and now it's with Salah over the halfway line. João Gomez slides into the challenge. He's going to get a yellow card. You said earlier in the game, Stephen, he likes a tackle. He's just been booked for one.
Yeah, just a little bit late on Mohamed Salah. Again, that overplaying in that midfield area, a little bit of overconfidence. McAllister pinched the ball. Salah runs away, and he didn't have a choice there, Gomez. He had to try and play the ball, but just went through the back of Salah's calf and committed the foul and picked up the yellow card.
Full time at Portman Road, Emily Herbert.
A big 3 points for Ipswich in the fight for automatic promotion spots. Ipswich 1, Hull City 0. Azor Matasiwa the difference. A rocket blasted into the top corner, his first for the club, and what a time to score it. Ipswich now 3 points off second with a game in hand. Hull stay in the playoff picture in 5th. Full time, Ipswich Town 1, Hull City 0.
Thank you, Emily. Matthias Mane, Lee Carsley here tonight. The England under-21 manager, watching the England Youth International, the Portuguese-born England Youth International. So Rodrigo Gomez comes on for him. Incidentally, the attendance 30,247, and 3,008 have made the journey down the M6 from Liverpool. And we're going to be starting or finishing the game with more Gomez's than we started, because Joe Gomez is waiting to come on for Liverpool. You would think that would be just a natural swap for Frimpong, wouldn't you?
I'm not so sure. I think it could be Salah, and I think Frimpong could be pushed into that right-hand side. Salah's just not been at the races at all. I just wonder whether he feels Frimpong will bring more of a threat higher up the pitch.
Well, we'll find out very soon. 19 minutes remaining. Full-time at Bromley, Angus Patterson.
The Bromley 0, Oldham Athletic 0 at the top of League Two. A game that promised more entertainment than it delivered. The best action was in the last 5 minutes. A flurry of set pieces saw a goal line clearance from Bromley at one end, and then a possible penalty shout for the hosts at the other, followed by a free header by Jesse Deborah that was put over the bar. So they go 5 points clear at the top of League Two to Bromley, with Cambridge having a chance to cut that gap to 2 in their game in hand. Bromley 0, Oldham Athletic 0 at full time.
Yeah, thank you. And Bromley 17 games unbeaten. Frimpong is the player who's going to be coming off. Joe Gomez comes on, so we've got Joe Gomez, Rodrigo Gomez, João Gomez, and that's it. That's right, isn't it?
Well, I'm just double check again, because we know your maths at the weekend was really poor.
Because Angel Gomez was taken off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got there in the end.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. Not easy. Corner kick for Liverpool, in swinger. Headed away by Rokadari, hit back in on the volley and just whistles wide. Kanate just tried to little squish of the leg to try and flick it in.
There's also Joe Gomez at the back post. I think he might have been offside had he have got a touch, but as the ball comes out to Szoboszlai, he is so frustrated because he thinks that's a good opportunity for him to get a good volley on. Do you know what? He wouldn't have been offside. He was onside there, Joe Gomez. It was a good position for him to get the shot away.
Stephen Warnock with it, 18 minutes remaining. We're on air until 10:30 on 5 Live, then Johnny Johansson will take over, standing in for Tony Livesey. Grimsby Town have beaten Salford City by 3-1 at Blundell Park. Robertson, the left back for Liverpool, turns and clears, drifts out of play for a throw. 0-0 it remains. It will be a Another point for Wolverhampton Wanderers that would take them on to 14, only on 8 occasions as in the Premier League has a team had fewer than 20 points, and that will be something that Wolves will be keen not to be labelled as one of the worst sides in Premier League history. Taken 11 points from their last 11 games, when you consider they've taken just 2 from their first 18 matches, as Mosquera gifts the ball towards McAllister. But Bellegarde wins the ball back with a bite in the challenge and now gets forward as well. The substitutes trying to provide fresh energy for bottom of the table Wolves, where earlier in the Premier League Burnley, who are only, as it currently stands, 5 points ahead of them, lost at Everton by 2-0. Krejci dinks the ball away. João Gomez shields it from Salah, snapping away at the heels. João Gomez bundled over, floors the corner flag as a result. They go long towards Rocadare. He's a different player altogether and a different presence, a lot more physicality now instead of the Adam Armstrong when they were playing as a false 9. Now they've actually got a focal point to attack. Get the thoughts of Stephen in a moment. Szoboszlai out towards Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez with the cross takes a deflection. Liverpool have a corner, 0-0.
Yeah, it does give them a different option. Rocadare up front. I watched him at Anfield. I thought he was a handful. I thought he played really well against Van Dijk and Konate, and they found it difficult. He's so strong, so physical in the way that he plays. He's actually got awareness of where people are around him, so give him quality service into him. He'll hold it up and he'll bring others into play.
Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. 15 minutes remaining. Liverpool have a corner kick. Their deliveries from corners tonight have been extremely disappointing. A Wolves player has been bundled into the back of the net in that extremely congested 6-yard area. I mean, you do feel for the officials, what they've got to try and watch now. And also the goalkeepers are just completely swamped as we wait for the corner to be delivered. Still the jostling takes place. Joe Gomez making a nuisance of himself. It's to Szoboszlai from Salah on that right-hand side. Ekitike couldn't get a shot away. The break is on, similar to how they broke away to get the second goal against Aston Villa last Friday, but Liverpool curtailed that counter-attack on that occasion. As Ngamoa comes forward now, left corner of the area, slows down. Ekitike tries to chip the ball back towards Ngamoa, who hadn't raced after it, and it goes out for a goal kick. So the 5 results in League Two, we know that Bromley have gone 5 points clear, but as Angus says, Cambridge do have a game in hand. 0-0 at home to Oldham Athletic. Newport County beat Tranmere by 3-1 in the end, so they're out of the bottom 2 as a result. Walsall 0, Fleetwood Town 1, Chesterfield 3, Colchester United 0, and Grimsby Town, they beat Salford City by 3-1. I'll give you the League One scores in a moment's time, because the computer is just playing up a little bit. Exeter 1, Burton Albion 1, Rotherham United 0, Mansfield Town 0, Barnsley 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, and we know from Emily that in the solitary game in the Championship, Ipswich Town above Millwall into 3rd and 3 points behind second-placed Middlesbrough after that 1-0 victory against Hull City. And in the Premier League, there's 3 games earlier. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Everton beat Burnley 2-0, and Sunderland beat Leeds United by 1-0. So that rounds up the football elsewhere, and we have 13 minutes remaining of normal time here, and we ponder to see whether we will get a goal.
Should we talk about the white ball coming back in? We haven't mentioned that, have we?
Good point. Yeah.
We need to find something to talk about, don't we?
Yeah. I personally preferred the height conversation about Adam Armstrong. Wolves are going to make another change, and it is going to be Hugo Bueno who's going to be coming on. Scored his first goal in the Premier League recently in that game against Arsenal, that fight back 2-2. Rocadare with the layoff to Rodrigo Gomez. Rodrigo Gomez bursts in the penalty area and scores! Rodrigo Gomez dinks the ball over the advancing Alisson, and Wolverhampton Wanderers on the break lead
physicality. I said, if you get quality into him, he'll be able to bring others into play. He plays on Van Dijk and he bullies Van Dijk out the way. Plays a nice ball into Gomez, and then Gomez runs away from Konate. Konate looks laboured as he's trying to get back in. Alisson comes out. He stays as tall as he can for as long as he can, but the finish is exceptional. He just dinks it over Alisson. It's a magnificent finish. Wolves put themselves 1-0 ahead. Brilliant goal.
You have to compliment Wolves for the game plan. They have nullified Liverpool. They've then brought on the changes, provided a little bit of energy, the layoff by Arokadare, and under pressure, that was a confident and composed finish from Rodrigo Gomez.
It was a superb finish. Talking about Virgil van Dijk, he's got to do better in that situation alongside Arokadare. It's a simple little nudge from Arokadare just to put Virgil van Dijk off, but then it's the composure to pick out the pass, and then the finish. It's not even on the left foot, it's the right foot, the outside of the right foot. It's a quite superb finish. That is brilliant, it really is. And Rob Edwards and his staff rightfully celebrate as a group. They're delighted with what's happened. The changes they've made, they've been positive.
Liverpool have made a change. Chiesa has come on for Konate. So Joe Gomez is now partnering Virgil van Dijk, and Szoboszlai has gone to right back. And Gamoa with a cross comes out towards Szoboszlai, edge of the area. He heads it out towards Curtis Jones. Liverpool have just not created any worthwhile opportunities apart from that. And Gamoa
he's hit
the post.
What a save.
He almost got his first goal in the Premier League. He waited for it to settle. Through a crowd of players right-footed, he's hit it. And it's come off the base of the left-hand post. Liverpool now trying to send in another cross when it's turned behind. Stephen.
Yeah, brilliant from Gamoa. Just opens his body up, almost Henry style, tries to bend it into that far corner. It's a brilliant save from Jose Sarr, tips it onto the post.
What a very good save that was by Jose Sarr. First time that he's been extended tonight. And what are we in the 80th minute? Wolves lead. Corner kick for Liverpool. In it goes to a crowded area. Still hasn't been dealt with. Eventually Krejci tries to hook the ball to safety. Rodrigo Gomez, the goal scorer, dispossessed by Szoboszlai. All of a sudden now Liverpool are playing with a lot more urgency as they look for an equaliser. What a dent this would be to their hopes of Champions League qualification. Rodrigo Gomez with a goal 12 minutes from time. Robertson with the cross, and the header loops wide by McAllister. (1-0) to Wolves.
Well, they have upped the tempo, Liverpool, but it's not enough at the moment. They're not really creating anything of note. It's a good save from Sarr, but you'd have expected him to make that save from Gamoa. It goes through a couple of players, so it is a decent enough save. But that tempo, where's it been? Why hasn't it been there from Liverpool?
9 minutes remaining. And what a contrast to the mood and the feel of Molineux. From just a few weeks ago, that toxic atmosphere has been replaced by more of a buoyant feel, because they can see that their side now are actually competing. As Chiesa throws himself to the floor and João Gomez comes forward. And what a fine few days this could be for Rob Edwards, claiming the scalp of Aston Villa last Friday, and another side in the Champions League could be beaten as well. In fact, their last 4 Premier League wins have all been to 0. As Salah comes forward now, Chiesa back towards Salah, but the hunger and the desire levels for the Wolves players to get back and to stop that attack, you know, that's what the Wolves supporters can associate with. The work rate, the commitment. And they're seeing it now from these players. They've got something to protect. Bellegarde. Oh, he's giving it straight towards Salah. Salah running forward. Salah enters the penalty area. Salah scores! Liverpool are level, and Mo Salah ends his goal drought. 10 Premier League games without a goal. It's over, and Salah has brought level 1-1.
Well, we wondered where the goal was going to come from. It comes from a mistake from Bellegarde, one of the substitutes. It's a lazy pass. It's a pass that he doesn't need to make, a mistake he shouldn't make, but Mohamed Salah capitalises on it. And the one thing he does is he doesn't cut inside on his left foot. He goes down the outside and then he hits across the ball with his left foot. He catches Jose Sa by surprise. It's a really good finish from Mohamed Salah. I think Jose Sa will be disappointed. I think it's just the speed in which Salah takes the shot on. Yeah, I think he should save it, but Salah won't care. Liverpool are back in it, and he's got his goal.
Certainly has. He's had to wait since, I know he was away with the African Cup of Nations with Egypt for a period, but his last goal in the Premier League was against Aston Villa at the start of November. And the Wolves lead lasted 5 minutes. However, they've got a throw on this near side, the right, and Mosquera is going to take it. Sarr did get something to it, but it beat inside his near post. It's a long looping throw. Van Dijk heads it away, and Salah now wants more goals, and he's easily dispossessed Andre, who stopped playing. Andre just stopped to look for the referee, and the counter-attack is on here. Salah to Szoboszlai. That was an excellent intervention. It was Hugo Bueno who stopped it, because otherwise Liverpool were in on goal.
Oh, that's massive from Hugo Bueno. He does exceptionally well because he makes a decision to narrow off. We'll come back to it.
We've got a game of football breaking out. Arukadare couldn't get there. What a mad game for so long. It was a tepid affair, and yet now it's like a basketball game. It's stretched, it's open.
And if it's like this on Friday, I'm just coming in for the last 20 minutes. I mean, this has just come to life. The substitutes have helped that change. The atmosphere's picked up in here, but the goal that Wolves scored has changed Liverpool's outlook on the game, their approach to it. Now they're committing players, now they're having to take people on and try and find a way back into the game, and now try and find a winner.
Wolves 1, Liverpool 1. Match of the day highlights tomorrow. They'll just fast forward to about the last 15 minutes. Corner kick on that far side. Wolves playing from left to right. It's an outswinger. Comes off the back of the head of Gomez. Picked up by Ungamoa. Ungamoa holds on to the ball now towards Chiesa. Joe Gomez, that is, got something caught in the face, but he's able to continue as Andre wins the ball in the midfield for Wolves. Mosquera wants the ball played round the back. Mosquera gets it. Mosquera then goes for goal, but the angle was tight, and in the end he shoots straight at and lifts it around head height to Alisson, who throws the ball down into the ground for Ungamoa, who's able to come forward and just try to cut on the inside of Andre, but there was Rodrigo Gomez to win it back. And now all of a sudden we've got an entertaining game to watch.
Now you're being tested, aren't you? You've got to step up.
Here is João Gomez. João Gomez couldn't keep his effort down. Shot on the run, right-footed, just outside the D. Off target, goal kick, 1-1. You
can do your job now, can't you? Because you don't have to make things up about height and try and find things to talk about, because the game has come to life. We're suddenly finding that the teams are attacking each other and having a right good go.
Don't worry, I've worked it out. You're an inch taller than Adam Armstrong. Let it go.
Yeah, very true. I can't believe the Wolves fans are leaving.
No, I can't.
I mean, it'll help getting home, and it'll beat the traffic a little bit easier, but no, why would you leave at this point? If you'd left in the first 70 minutes, I'd have understood that.
It's the best part of the game. 3 minutes remaining, one apiece. Joe Gomez, Chiesa, lays it off. Szoboszlai, central area forward of the centre circle. Robertson, midway through the Wolves half, out towards Ungamoa. Left-hand side level with the area. Does a couple of step-overs. Little flick there with the right boot. Ekitike to his right. Ekitike 25 yards out from goal. Joe Gomez, I thought he was going to shoot from distance. Instead, he's forced Salah out wide. And Salah wasn't expecting it there. It was a good 2 yards in front of him, and it's gone out for a Wolves throw deep inside their own half. It's Wolves 1, Liverpool 1 with 3 minutes remaining. Incidentally, in that FA Cup fourth round tie, Port Vale, Bristol City, they've reached half-time in extra time. Sonny.
Get goalless here, chance of this is embarrassing, and some boos from the away fans. Dissatisfied the Championship side are being held by bottom of League One into the second half extra time. That's coming up. It's Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0.
The Sunderland supporters will be buoyant after travelling in their hordes from Wearside down to West Yorkshire after that 1-0 victory at Ellen Road. We'll be listening intently to see who they'll play at the weekend in the FA Cup. You'll have all the coverage on BBC Radio 5 Live. Here is Szoboszlai to Robertson. Starting, of course, with a repeat of this game on Friday night. Ungamoa doing all the little tricks, the step-overs, left-hand side of the area, and then gifting the ball away. Tries to win it back, but Andre's able to run clear for Wolves, and the break is on. It's 5 against 3. The red shirts are desperate to get back. This is Rodrigo Gomez, enters the area looking for a second. The Liverpool players in the end blocked it. Listen to the noise inside Molineux. Under 2 minutes remaining. Wolves pick it up once again. Bellegarde, look for the return ball, cut out by Curtis Jones running back. Ungamoa, the teenager, leaves it now for Joe Gomez. Wolves weren't wanting to press Liverpool at that stage on the edge of their own penalty area, and Liverpool have played through them. And Ekitike, cynically pulled back. Ekitike's reacted angrily. But Santiago Bueno, we've now got a flare-up, was beaten by the way he was just rolled by Ekitike. He cynically pulled his red shirt back. It's a clear yellow card. He wouldn't let go of him. And you can see why Ekitike is livid.
I totally understand why he's so frustrated, but from a defensive point of view, you're not conceding a goal. Brilliant turn from Ekitike. He just spins round the corner, receives it on the inside of his foot. He sends Bueno the wrong way, but Bueno just says, well, you're not going anywhere. You've done me, so I'm going to pull you back. I'm not going to let you get away. You can understand why Ekitike is so furious, but I'm not sure what the Wolves players are jumping in so... It was Andre who bounced in, wanted to cause a problem.
Well, quite rightly, Santiago Bueno has been booked by referee Thomas Bramall. He actually went down holding his face, and I'm sure that VAR would have just had a look at that to see whether there was any violent conduct from Ekitike. I'm not too sure whether Ekitike was booked. The yellow card has now been put away by Thomas Bramall. Don't think so. I think it was just the one yellow card that was shown, and Liverpool have got the free kick. That was certainly from the Uruguayan international, one where you're taking one for the team.
Absolutely.
6 minutes of stoppage time, which we're now into. So the 90 are over, 6 minutes to be added on. One apiece. Szoboszlai with a free kick to Salah. Salah hits it in first time. And a Rokadare tumbles as the ball goes behind for a Liverpool corner over on that far side. They're in extra time at Vale Park for that 4th round FA Cup tie. Port Vale 0, Bristol City 0. More Premier League commentary tomorrow on 5 Live Sport. Match of the day tomorrow night at 10:40 BBC One. Salah, who got the Liverpool equaliser. With the corner kick, it's an in-swinger. Rokadare heads it out. Szoboszlai running with his back to goal. Leaves it for Robertson. Comes forward from the centre circle. And now out towards Ekitike. Ekitike. Krejci has hold of his shirt yet again. He was clearly being pulled back. Arne Slot is bouncing down the touchline in frustration. As then Wolves tried to break, but Joe Gomez with a header back towards Alisson.
I don't think there was enough in that to go down from Ekitike. I think he's looking for it because the touch is a little bit too heavy. He knows that he's lost control of the ball. And Liverpool continuing to turn over possession quickly and come forward as quick as they can. Wolves in that shape, they look organised.
The head bowed by the bald Liverpool manager, whose contract ends at the end of next season, 2027. He watches on now as Liverpool, this is going to be a long throw from Joe Gomez. He's used a little white towel on that far side to get a better grip. In it comes now, it is a long one. Sarr's come a long way, gets a punch on it. Szoboszlai with a little touch, now towards Ungamoa, chips the ball towards the far post, and Van Dijk heads straight at Sarr. Liverpool were looking for a late goal. We're in the 3rd minute of the 6 to be added on.
Yeah, he thought he'd scored, Van Dijk. He thought it was perfect for him to run onto, get that clear header at goal, but he just fired it straight at Jose Sarr. Good play from Ungamoa on that left-hand side. Lovely flighted ball into Van Dijk.
Here is Ungamoa. Gets the ball from Robertson. who then goes on the overlap as Ngamoa runs in field. Lost it. There was a kick out there at Szoboszlai, was there, by Andre?
Get up.
Stephen Warnock says no, just tell Szoboszlai to get up. Andre now towards Arakadare. Szoboszlai now is back to his feet, but Wolves have gone back into the centre circle. Now they go forward and they're urged on by this crowd. And then a little slip. João Gomez wanted the ball back from Hugo Bueno. And battling for it over on that far side is Curtis Jones. Alisson has to clear it urgently and quickly. Wolves get it back. This is Andre. Andre with a shot, takes a deflection and goes in. Andre with his first goal in English football with the aid of a wicked deflection. And Wolverhampton Wanderers are back in front in injury time. They lead Liverpool by 2-1. Wild celebrations of
Rob Edwards is off down the line like Jose Mourinho, celebrating in front of the home fans. He's absolutely over the moon. He can't believe his team have won this game. It was a mistake by Curtis Jones. He played a ball into Alisson, and Alisson could never get any purchase on the ball from the way it was played into him. There was still a lot to happen, but as it fell to Andre, he's got tired legs. He looked heavy in the last 5 or so minutes, but he takes a shot at goal. It takes a wicked deflection, and it just loops over Alisson, who stands no chance of getting anywhere near it. You have to say, if anyone deserved it, Wolves have deserved it. They've been better on the night. Liverpool, they've been lacklustre. They've deserved nothing. It's a deflection off Joe Gomez that wrong foots Alisson.
I mean, it has been credited to Andre. It was on target, but without the deflection, that's not going in.
No, absolutely not. It's never going in. He doesn't care, Rob Edwards. We're just seeing a replay of him on the monitor. Great celebrations in front of his fans.
First goal for the club on his 66th appearance. He only scored 4 goals in 4 years for Fluminense. But in the 94th minute, Wolverhampton Wanderers are leading Liverpool by 2-1. And I can't help but think about the Wolves supporters who left earlier on. I'm thinking,
oh, it's their own fault. You don't leave a football game early, especially when it was coming to life. They might be listening anyway.
Arne Slot is in the ear of the fourth official.
He's moaning about Szoboszlai. It's not a foul. It is not a foul at all. Liverpool have been soft all night. McAllister, Szoboszlai, they've been going down far too easily at times.
Well, I questioned in commentary, was it a foul? And all I could hear was you going, get up, get up, get up.
Definitely not a foul, and there was one before with Ekitike as well.
The deadlock has been broken, incidentally, at Vale Park. Sani Radravajala.
Port Vale 1, Bristol City 0. He's been trying it all night, rounds the keeper, Ben Waine gets it in. We've got just a few minutes remaining. Port Vale 1, Bristol City 0.
They would be at home to Sunderland at the weekend in the FA Cup 5th round. Wolves, bottom of the table. They've only had 1 win in 16 against Liverpool in all competitions. But they're leading 2-1 as Liverpool are on the attack. Here is Chiesa with a rising drive. I've got to say, the last 15 minutes have been excellent in terms of entertainment.
Absolutely, really enjoyed it. But it's not been enough from a Liverpool point of view. Just listen to that noise, though. This place is electric when it gets going.
This is the momentum that Wolves are looking to carry on into the Championship next season. Hugo Bueno is fouled and he gets a free kick, and I tell you what, it'll give them a boost ahead of the FA Cup tie here on Friday too.
Yeah, it certainly will. I just think of Liverpool's record against the 3 teams down the bottom end, the 3 teams who got promoted, and then you take Wolves into consideration as well. It's not been good enough all season from them. Drop points against the teams that are at the bottom end of the league. Liverpool fans have left in the droves. They're not happy. They're not happy with what they're seeing from their team.
No. Well, they were unconvincing against West Ham despite the 5-2 victory at the weekend. They've been uninspiring tonight, and Wolves, when they've actually conceded, are going to get their first win in 30 Premier League games since they beat Tottenham 4-2 back in April. Because they are very, very close. We've been playing now, we're in the 8th minute of added time. They're leading by 2 goals to 1. The cameras are trained on Rob Edwards. He goes across to shake the hand of Arne Slot. Bottom of the table, Wolves, with back-to-back wins against Champions League qualification chasing sides Aston Villa and Liverpool. Molineux is rocking. They've beaten Liverpool by 2 goals to 1.
Deserved victory as well overall. Organised in the first half, tough to play against, and then credit to Rob Edwards. His team were under pressure for around about the first 10-15 minutes of the second half. He made the changes, he brought 3 substitutes on, then he added a couple more just after that. Liverpool responded after going a goal down, but then they kept on believing, Wolves, and they kept on counter-attacking, being difficult to play against, and they got the just rewards. If you don't shoot, you don't score, and that's exactly what Andre did. Liverpool disappointed on the night, but Rob Edwards has just got something going here, and they're starting to believe, Wolves.
Yeah, they are. They'll be going down, no make a mistake about that, but now all of a sudden it's about the rebuild. It's already started. They've got back-to-back wins in the Premier League for the first time since April. All the goals coming late on, and that injury time goal from Andre, a wicked deflection off Joe Gomez. They've beaten Liverpool by 2 goals to 1. Kelly.
Well, Arne Slot said earlier in the week that the Premier League isn't a joy to watch, and certainly for about 80 minutes, neither was that game, but an incredible end to the match at Molineux. Wolves going in front, Liverpool getting back into it, and then that late winner for the home side. What an incredible week for Wolves, Ben Mee. They beat Aston Villa on Friday, they've beaten the champions, and it could get even better because they play Liverpool again in the FA Cup at Molineux on Friday.
Yeah, credit to those Wolves players, credit to Rob Edwards there. I think the substitutions made a real big impact in that game. The last 20 minutes, they were magnificent, and obviously got the goal, which set the game alight, really. Liverpool came back, and Jose Sarr made a really good save onto the post. Probably should have saved the goal as well, I felt, but the first save was magnificent. And then to go on and win the game after losing a goal, to come back 1-1, fantastic for them. And yeah, it's a good atmosphere there when it gets going.
Also with us, of course, Stephen Warnock and Ian Dennis are at Molineux. Deno, it wasn't much to write home about in terms of your match report for the first, 80 minutes? And then it caught fire.
It did. I mean, Ben's just talked about the substitutions. It gave Wolves a lot of energy. Their game plan worked to a T. They nullified Liverpool. They played with a false 9. They were hard to break down. Liverpool, all the possession, didn't really create anything. They brought the substitutions on. Arokadara gave them a little bit of a focal point, and it was his layoff towards Rodrigo Gomez who got the first goal with 12 minutes remaining, racing away. Good composed finish, little dink finish over Alisson, and then Salah 5 minutes later, after a Bellegarde mistake. I know Ben's saying as well, as Stephen did, that Sarr should have made the save in his near post. That came from a Bellegarde mistake that gave Liverpool the equaliser then 5 minutes later. And then just that shot there from Andre. First goal for the club, first in English football, wicked deflection off Joe Gomez. And all of a sudden now, when you think that Wolves had collected 2 points from their first 18 games, they've now taken 14 points from their last 12. Back-to-back wins in the Premier League for the first time since April. And you remember, Kelly, the mood around Molineux a few years ago, completely transformed now.
And the last time the bottom place Premier League side beat the reigning champions, October 2017, when Crystal Palace beat Chelsea at Selhurst Park. The performances this season from Liverpool have not overall been great, although they've had their moments, Stephen. But this was so slow and so laboured. And I know that you said in commentary that if anybody deserved to win it, it was Wolves. And yet when you look at the statistics from the game, everything is heavily weighted in favour of Liverpool in terms of shots, in terms of shots on target, in terms of how much of the ball they had, successful, everything. Why didn't it look like that on the ground?
Because it's slow and it's laboured, and whenever you watch Liverpool at the moment, it's almost like they have to go a goal behind to lift themselves. Well, I think we're so used to watching a Jurgen Klopp Liverpool in the way that they play. And even last year, I thought they played with a better tempo in the way that they attack teams. This season, it seems like they want to control the ball more, and it just allows teams to get set. I think if you're playing against them, I think if you can get back into position quite quickly, it's not easy to play against, but it's easier. But the chances that they created, I mean, there was probably